Turn the screen around.
I'm a computer.
Got it.
Everything made out of buttons and wires. Yeah, that works. It's a good angle. Easy to be a clever smart boy.
I should probably change my music to suit the impending doom. I have like wholesome Studio Ghibli music playing. So
Right.
it's making me feel better.
Like yakety sax for this dinner.
Oh boy. Okay.
The circus song.
I love sitting behind my screen and being like, I don't know what any of this stuff is, and an ambulance just rolled by my window. So great vibes all
That's a
around.
good omen.
Liam, if anyone should know what's happening behind that screen, it's you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, ooh, there's so many things to play with. I wonder who this belongs to. So welcome everyone to our wonderful groups game of Curse of Strahd. This is something that I'm now putting under the banner head of Novice DMing for myself, but really this has been something that's been around for over a year, even before I had a company. So this has been a wonderful, wonderful project. This has been a game that if I may go into a little bit, was birthed just because of David. Are you okay if I share with this?
Oh yeah, of course.
Sure. This was birthed because David was like, "Hey, you ever read Curse of Strahd?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Well, here you go," and he gifted me the just like to run for this campaign the wonderful revamped edition of Curse of Strahd, which I hold hostage in my home now. And it's honestly been such an amazing experience because he wanted me to run it for his daughter Kylah, who's here with us, and
Favorite daughter.
yes. And it's been a wonderful experience. We've been going on for a year now, doing bi-weekly games. I'm here with my own brother Noah, who I'm going to point to this way because I think that's
Favorite brother Noah.
Other Liam.
What?
Your other Liam.
He's other Liam.
Oh yes, other Liam. Yes. And bringing in Padon and Abby, who are not only two of my very good friends, but are also two of my favorite D&D players ever. I can go on for probably a few things, but before I do really kind of establish stuff, I do want to pass over to the players to introduce themselves, to get to have them get to say some stuff, and then I will start talking about me and all that. So whoever wants to take it first. I don't have a good way to organize it.
Let's go in order of the people you listed. So start with David.
Yeah.
All right, so just say something about myself. That's what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
David Wilson. I'm a voice teacher, yoga teacher, breath therapist. I work at McKinnon University, a little bit at U of A in Edmonton. Liam is one of my former students at McKinnon, and Liam's favorite brother Noah is going to be one of my students at McKinnon. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, I decided to pick this up again after 20 years because it didn't work out the first time. It didn't take the first time, so doing it again now. And that's it.
Kylah.
That makes me next. Yeah. I started playing D&D 2-3 years ago and was having a ton of fun. And I was telling my dad a lot about the campaign. And then he mentioned that he gave Liam Curse of Strahd and was like, "Hey, you want to play with me?" So that's how it came to be. And I got to meet these people and start a campaign I've never played before, which is fun because my other campaign is just a homebrew. And yeah, it's been pretty great. I run my own business, so this is a nice little side gig for me. I have no background in improv or acting or anything like that, but being able to learn a little bit more about it has been pretty cool. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm Liam's brother. I'm Noah. Grew up trying to learn how to play when I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8, but didn't really get it. I just like making characters and be like, that would be fun, and the actual gameplay would come, and I get bored. And then throughout high school, some friends would get into it, but campaigns fizzle out here and there. And then Liam was like, "Hey, do you want to play this Strahd campaign?" I was like, "Okay, sure, I'll get back into it." And the rest is history. Now I play with these fun people. So good times.
Yeah, good history.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make me next? Okay. I am Padon. I've known Liam for years now. We work together. That's pretty much how I got into this. Is Liam got into DMing and asked me if we'd all want to start kind of a game, and we did, and now I'm fully hooked on this. I just big gamer, love RPG gaming and stuff, so this was really easy for me to get into. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm Abby. I've been playing D&D since like 2017, I think. I grew up with what I call little sister syndrome, which is I got to watch my brothers do things, but they didn't let me play with them. So I've wanted to play D&D for decades, but yeah, I only have been into it for 6 years. Is that what that is? Yeah, Liam and I met at the end of university, doing the Emerge audition, bonded over Shakespeare and D&D, and have been friends ever since. I also play mostly homebrew games usually, so playing like an actual like written out campaign was what drew me in. I've missed a lot of this game though, due to work and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you here with us tonight, which is awesome, and glad to have everybody here. I'll say that when Peyton talks about like what we work, it wasn't like acting work. We worked at like a barbecue place, and that's when I was like, "Yay, let's get into D&D."
Yeah, I should make that clear. I work in restaurants. Me and Liam worked at a restaurant together and just talk about nerdy stuff all day long, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's like, what is it, serving food, and like, so what do you think about Fortnite? And just go.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I will give myself a little bit of a better introduction. My name is Liam McKinnon. Yeah, I'm an actor. Been doing this now for I think about like 3, maybe close to coming on 4 years, like really seriously. And with it, I also started up my own company, Novice DMing, which is a business that I've built mainly to bring Dungeons and Dragons to experienced and non-experienced people, to create homebrew content and to provide table spaces that are promoting leadership skills, strong, healthy leadership skills, creating confidence for new people in dungeon mastering, and soon players. We're looking to create I'm looking to, with a few people, to create a player workshop and a player summer camp. And one of the biggest things with it is to make sure that we can provide safe spaces as well. Providing something that is in a culture that can many times feel overwhelming and also can be unwelcoming, and can be filled with harassment. Trying to bring people in a more healthier way, and creating something that is very personal and very exposing, making people very vulnerable, and allowing them to embrace the weirdest parts of themselves. That's what I try to do, and I feel like it's been working pretty well, and getting more confident in just talking about this with more people. And I'm very glad that everybody can be here with us today, because this is a big step for myself, because I think I've been hesitant to ever suggest the major idea of doing any kind of public thing, like public event or something. And the only reason I think is because I still struggle with the idea of featuring this in front of people, because it's scary. It's scary to do that. But I'm glad that you can all be here today. So having said that, I do want to introduce you guys to kind of the stuff that I do with my regular tables. For this, we have the Zoom open. I cannot see any of the like chat stuff that comes through. I know the players can, so I will be probably looking at that at our break, which takes place a little bit halfway through. Yes, Kylah.
She is wondering if you can bring the mic closer. Becca can't quite hear you.
How about that? How does that sound? That
Much
sound
better.
good? Perfect. And I will play around with this while I say this too. Wonderful. So there we go. With everything that I am going through on this, I will not be able to kind of like notice and see all of the stuff that's going on for the chat until we go on a break. But also, what is it? For everyone that's with the audience, welcome. And then, yeah, if you guys are able to be, just muted on for the time before the break at that point, that'd be wonderful. Everyone who's like with us, because we are doing Zoom, I'll introduce you guys to the kind of concepts. We sometimes like are muted at certain points just because like there is interference at home and all that. That's totally fine. We might just be like, hey, you're muted, and pass that off and all that kind of information. That's kind of it. Also for myself, I am fighting a cold that has not decided to quit for the last 2 weeks, I guess. So yeah, I'll be coughing and you guys will see tissues behind here and a smoothie in my hand because hell. What else? Yeah, we've been going on this for about a year and some now, so I will be sure to introduce as best I can with some of the concepts, but also allowing for our players to move forward in the story. We are coming at a very crucial point in this campaign. So having said all of that, I don't know, is there anything that I might be missing right now before going into the main stuff for you guys, like questions and stuff like that? Is there anything you guys think I'm missing? No? Cool. So what I always open up with every new table, but I will open this up at the very beginning, is questions about content. Now I know for many people with our game, we are going into very big horror kind of a theme with this. This is like gothic horror. So there is quite a bit of violence in this, quite a bit of darkness. There's a lot of like heavy subject matter, heavy emotional subject matter, as is the nature with gothic horror. But I do want to make sure, just reiterating that if people do feel that there's something that's really upsetting to them at all, that we establish that at the beginning so that I don't cross those lines. For myself, I've been kind of opening myself up to the idea that I shouldn't be very restrictive on content on my own right. I should mainly pay attention to what the needs are of everybody else. So for myself, I'm really open to delivering any kind of content, being sensitive, of course, to whatever people need and what people are uncomfortable with. So having said that, going back in the order of how we introduce ourselves, from David, Kylah, Noah, Padon, and Abby, is there any kind of content you guys would not like me to dive into, just in general, whenever we're just doing our tables?
I'm good with anything because I trust you.
Okay.
I don't think we've
I
come
second
across.
what David said.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think we've come across anything in particularly like difficult to handle. And I do feel like anything that like I would probably be uncomfortable with, like you already don't go into, like it'd be more so like if you were to get really like specifically descriptive about something, I'd be like, okay, that's a bit much, but you never do that, so I think we're fine.
Mm-hmm. Good. Player death is okay. Great to know. Okay.
TPK. TPK.
Again.
We already had that happen a few times, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
We're
But
out
not-
of
but in
resurrections.
this
No more player
game-
death.
We're
But
out
in
of
this
it.
one,
Yeah.
We're out of
Yes.
resurrection.
it's been fun playing Kari. I'll miss her a lot.
And finally, with that, I do want to ask, and this is the big question I ask for my players before we start. Do you guys have any questions whatsoever about your characters, about anything that is like pertaining to anything that is like, what's the word? Paper stuff, like the mechanics of things. If you have a question about spells, if you have a question about attacks, if you have a question about any new features, please let me know before we dive into it.
Did I take any? Oh, sorry, Kylah, you raised your finger. No, I just started talking. I interrupted you. Go.
Okay, I was two things. One thing, the spirit has left my body at this point, right? And I am just scared Squally sitting at the table.
It has not left your body. It has simply gone dormant into yourself. So like
Right. Sorry.
you're inhabited by two different spirits. That spirit is dormant now, but is allowed your personality to come take control. So its personality is not the most prominent feature.
So confident Squally is left the building.
A little bit less so, yeah. It's kind of, you're still in that prominence of like that, that same confidence that you had prior to when you went the full extreme of Squally. It's kind of like what you were after the resurrection, but not what you were just a few hours ago.
Okay, perfect. Last question was, and this kind of open to everyone. Do you remember exactly when we received the invitation for Strahd and where we were?
Yeah, weren't we?
It was when we were in the forest,
Yeah, we were.
and
walking-
everybody.
We got the invitation
a-
in that moment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
Wasn't
mist.
that-
Okay.
was that the one that was hanging from the tree?
Is that wrong,
Mhm.
Liam?
It is wrong. You guys have the right day, but not the right moment.
I
You
thought it was
guys-
like in our each
It
individual.
was
missed
from. It was
moments.
from what's his name? Oh my god, I forget his name now. When we went to Tereska's house,
The vampire?
and the vampire guy that I cannot remember his name for the life of me now
Oh,
said
Eren.
that Strahd wanted to meet with us.
Yeah, we hated him.
Yeah, with the E. It has an E in it.
Yeah,
Esker.
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 Yes.
Esker gave it to us.
And then we talked to Strahd in the forest after that. But yeah,
Mm.
okay.
I just wanted to double check. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's me.
Cat.
Anybody else?
I was just curious because I missed last session if I took any more damage or used any more lay on hands.
No, you have not. I think you may
Okay.
have used one lay on hand for the
1
dog.
point.
Yeah, you
Okay.
used for Rufus, the dog.
Okay, I have 5 points of lay on hands left then, and 24 hit points, and no spell slots. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be diving into Curse of Strahd here. Now, I will be giving a little bit of a recap with a little bit of assistance from all of you to introduce your characters to everyone. But I will be also just giving a basic general recap for all of you of the recent events. Now, remember that there are certain people here that have played D&D, certain people that have not. Just trying to make something that feels right with everybody. But having said that, let us dive into today's session for Curse of Strahd. And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, the great world of Perelia is filled with many mysteries and wonders of arcane potential. One of the great things that exists in this world is, well, many can say it's great, but many people can say it's actually a very deep, dark secret that no one would like to acknowledge exists. And those are the mists of dread. These mists are rumored to be places that can take people off to distant lands, can steal people's children. They are great sources of folk horror and folklore. They are believed to be like religious connotations to some people and great mysteries of the arcane. No one knows how they came into the world of Perelia. But one thing that is for certain for those that visit is that those that go in come out completely different, if they can come out at all. We are going into a world of a mist of a domain of dread that exists within the mists that many people know about, whether from being neighbor to these mists or from across the continents. Because this mist in particular, this land has great notoriety. This is the land of Barovia, and it is home to many, many interesting creatures, some that are horrific in nature and some that are, well, fairly humanoid, but it brings about many adventurers. And a few of the adventurers that it has brought with us are here today. The people that it has brought are, and I'm going to go once again in the order that we introduced. That's passing off to you, Dave.
David.
Yep. Sorry, I thought I thought you were gonna start, so I was waiting for you.
You thought it was going to be
I-
a better send off, and now that is the one you get.
Yes, fair enough. Yes. Wystera, a tiefling warlock, and I thought it would be easy and fun to just do this. So she is a purple tiefling. Got a bit of an attitude, comes from a difficult upbringing, where she was betrothed to a lesser demon. That lesser demon is a real dick. And she did something that those of her race brought up her way don't do. She got out with a great deal of trouble, and she's searching for a lot of things, but she's part of it is she's running from this old life. But yeah, she's strong-willed and sarcastic, and kind of does her own thing. She was a bit of a loner, partially by choice, partially by upbringing, and she's interested in adventure, but it's not her thing. She's running, and she's found herself in this group of people that she didn't choose, and she's fine with it, but she doesn't connect with people easily. So that is Wystera, tiefling warlock.
You'll see Squally. He is a Kenku cleric. So a Kenku is a part raven, humanoid kind of looking guy. He's always hunched over and quite timid looking. You can kind of barely see his giant beak over his hood and his two little beady eyes. He can look up in a lot of adoration, and he looks about 4 feet tall, but you get the impression that he could probably be taller if he stood up straight. He's wearing clothes that are too big for him, and he's got this beautiful cloak with this hood as well, quite ragged and dirty, but it has a silver lining around it that you can kind of highlight the undertones of his feathers. He has a little pinwheel in his belt. It looks homemade. He was a hermit, so he didn't have many friends before. He's kind of insecure and lacks appropriate social skills, but he does radiate some sort of quality of hope, devotion, and maybe gallantry that's unexpected, like considering what he looks like. His name actually means if there's a squally in the weather, there's short periods when the wind is suddenly very strong. So he can speak Orin. He also changes colors due to coming back from the dead. And each color it's like a mood ring, but his feathers change those colors. So he has different moods that'll change the colors for him. And that's little Squally.
I will say too, for anybody who does not know what Orin is basically Squally can talk to the wind.
Very cool.
Hey, wind, what's up?
No, not much, my guy. It's not much. Just like everything, everywhere, all at once.
All personifications of nature are just like fucking surfer dudes.
Yeah, every single one, except for the one rock that's like, shut up, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with this anymore.
All right. In the party as well, you'll see Sly, the half orc, half tabaxi barbarian. Not much to talk about Sly, except he grew up being in a pack of raiders that taught him how to kill, and he kept doing that. Then he got killed, and then they brought him back, and he still likes killing. And not much on the thinking side, but he can design a mean wedding dress.
Artistic chops up the butt with this guy.
I definitely second Sly on the wedding dresses. I was there, I shed a tear. So
Squally disagrees.
My character is Eren, the halfling barbarian. He's just a little kind of sweet guy. He's about 2'10" on a good day. Got a little dad bod, some messy reddish brown hair, big bushy reddish brown neck beard. And he kind of got a special power thing from his village, essentially, to become the leader of his village. So he came out to essentially learn how to be a leader, learn how to protect his people, and found this group of people. But he recently died and lost that power, and has kind of revealed that when he rages, it's a bit of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing, and he kind of blacks out. So the whole group is learning that about him, and he's kind of coming to terms with dying and coming back and not having this power that he had before.
Kari is a 16-year-old hotshot human paladin. She was raised in essentially the religious capital of the continent or the country or the world, or extremely religious major city, raised in a church, but of the deities that exist within this kind of pantheon, or specifically the kind of deities of magic and stuff in the pantheon, the one that her family follows is kind of the Hufflepuff of the group. So they get shit on a lot, pardon my swearing. They get for following midnight. But Kari can't understand, or refuses to understand, how other people cannot see that her deity is dope as hell. So while her older brother, much golden boy, kind of does everything by the book the way he's supposed to be done, was off doing his pilgrimage and oh yes, no worries, whatever you think, but if you would like, I can tell you about my deity. And Kari's much more of the philosophy of, let's go out into the world and show how badass we are through the power of our deity, to show how badass the deity is. And that's kind of what she's out here to prove. Something. She's got a definite chip on her shoulder, and is very quickly having to grow up, realizing that the world outside is much more intense than I think she thought it was.
Surprisingly enough, for this group of people, the outside world didn't seem like much of a challenge. The beginning days of their first adventure, they went through the woods and found a Cyclops trying to find some food for themselves, potentially. Level 1 characters decided just hey, we're going to fight a Cyclops and kill it in the woods. You figure out how that works. Just all the nat ones on my part. That was fun.
You blinded.
Yeah, it was planned. It was planned from the beginning. I meant to do that. You guys,
Thank you.
going and seemingly capable of conquering much of what the outside world brought. Your first evening in Barovia, coming to the village of Barovia, 2 party members were killed by seeming zombies, and bringing about a very interesting kind of events for you all. You had gone to 3 different settlements. You had met a glorious abbot at this wonderful abbey dedicated to an ancient saint, Saint Martikov, where you had been able to be granted 3 resurrections in the hopes of being able to get a wedding dress for his bride. You went to another settlement called Valaki, where you had met a bunch of people in this big bustling town, a burgomaster who was pretty frustrating to deal with, and then you guys killed his bodyguard through discovering that he had taken one of your party members prisoner, only to instill a new government that seemingly is teaming up with vampires. You guys had gone to a small winery where you guys have been spending much of your time helping these people to find these green gemstones. One of them you recently found when you had defeated this massive, giant, 30-foot tall tree at the cost of Eren, who had died. in this process, you guys had been able to retrieve this gem, and then basically, unfortunately, in this process, you guys had your first, not your first meeting with this devil Strahd. It was your second encounter along when you guys had teamed up with a individual, a wizard of sorts, trying to stop Strahd from running away from this massive hillside on top of a flaming horse. But in trying to stop that, Strahd had killed a member that was with you guys named Elvie, who had revealed that he was a were-raven, along with discovering that many of the people who are at this winery that you had gone to are in fact were-ravens, and are actually part of a secret order that is combating the forces of Strahd. The father of this son, Elvir, who had died, his name's Davian, and he had requested that you go to Castle Ravenloft immediately to find his son's dead body and to make sure that he is in fact dead and does not come back as one of the living dead that you have encountered throughout this land, for fear that Elvir will come back and be able to reveal his family's secrets. You all went first, however, to this abbey in this one village to resurrect your friend Eren. And when the resurrection had worked, you had all gone through this process to prepare yourselves to go to Castle Ravenloft. Wystera, however, the tiefling warlock, had expressed, we're all a little bit tired, let's take a sleep, and decided to go right on the side of the Abbey of St. Martikov, to Squally's dismay. And Squally and Sly, you two were the individuals who had died your first night. You two had understand the severity that comes with death, and you understand that Eren is in a much weakened state. However, Squally, you also understood that what Davian had expressed is a time-sensitive manner, and any more time you give to the devil, he's going to be able to do some terrible things. And so you decided not to allow this to happen, having a very public display of frustration with Wystera's decisions. And so you all began to immediately go in this process. And I can see that Wystera had to just peace out after I even went off with that statement. Sure, David will be able to join us right away. But you guys had essentially left and gone and traveled to go to Castle Ravenloft, going around from Valaki, avoiding that place as best you could, and then making your way to the castle, losing your wizard companion due to wolves, and now have been brought in to the castle by a black carriage that rode you guys in there. As you stepped out, holding an invitation that you had been given by Esker, one of Strahd's seemingly allies, had given you this invitation. You bestowed it to a hunchbacked individual, this individual with a webbed duck foot, bare ears, and a scruffy beard, had expressed for you to all put blindfolds on and join him to go to a special area where you were going to be having dinner with the devil himself. On this, I'm going to bring us back into the present moment. Kari, you were not with us in last session, so I will tell you a couple things.
Thank you.
You have been away for a little bit, so there are two bits of information you need to know. First of all, when you were going into the... when you were going to the special dining place, you were successfully able to slip the blindfold off ever so gently to see what was around you without getting caught. You had been able to see some of the interiors of this place, and we will get to that in a moment. One of the things we also had experienced, or that you had experienced, the day that this tree blight had tried to attack the Wizard of Wines and had killed Eren, you had been at a spirit board reading where you had found out that the brother that you have come to look for in Barovia, the spirit board was overtaken by the spirit of Strahd. And it had expressed, when you had expressed questions about your brother and his friends and their lives, every single one of them had expressed that they are currently not living and that they are all dead. That was what the spirit had said.
But it was the spirit of Strahd?
It was the spirit of Strahd that said that.
Okay. And said all of them were dead.
Yes. Just reaching out to David quickly. Now, you all presently sitting in what is known as the Hall of Bones, a room filled with dozens and dozens of skulls of conquered individuals, of creatures that seem to come from worlds beyond. Behind you all is a towering skull of what was identified as an adult silver dragon. As you are all waiting for this hunchbacked individual to bring food to you all, the door to your left opens. All in this process of waiting, Wystera had started to begin a ritual to bring back a familiar that they have, an unfamiliar by the name of Twitch. In this process, however, it was interrupted briefly by the opening of a door and an individual coming at you with a long cloak, long black hair, a sharp, elegant face, and eyes that penetrate your very souls. Across his face, on the right side, you can see that there is a single scar that cuts along. And as they stand here, they begin to enter, but not before shadow begins to emerge along their right side. A few feet near to their waist, shadow begins to manifest until you slowly see a paw come out of the shadow and slowly begin to take a few steps, emerging out. Eren, in your journeys, you have acquired a wonderful pet named Rufus. Who you renamed this from a very interesting, powerful name to Rufus, which is equally interesting and powerful. And in this moment, you see stepping out a similar looking creature with almost the gaping teeth that are exposed, almost as if there is like a harsh grin across this creature's face. Stepping through the shadow, you begin to hear it snarl. As you see Strahd take his hand with his long black fingertips and just slowly drape them across the back of this creature, and it eases. And it begins to join him as he walks towards the head of the table. You're all sitting at about like lengthwise. There's a single seat waiting for him to go to, and he moves there. But he moves there without taking his eyes off of all of you. I want to hear, as he makes his way towards his chair, what is going through each of your minds at this moment as you take in this individual's presence. We're going to start with you, Sly.
Sly's sitting at the table, just locked in on the shadowy figure and unsure if he should feel anger or fear, but he knows he doesn't. He's trying to figure out some way where he could just kill this guy, because he is. Does Sly understand that Strahd's like DM? That he's undead or vampire or any kind of nature like that? Like, does Sly understand that?
From what you've seen, there has been no expression of undead of this being. You just simply know that they have some kind of magical presence. You haven't really picked up on undead. Truly, you haven't really examined it. You haven't truly seen this person get hit or be dealt damage either, so you don't know if they're inflicted the same way you've seen other types of like undead vampire type creatures. Presently, all you kind of have to go off of is that this creature is a devil and seems to be infernal in nature.
Okay. Yeah, so Sly's just kind of sitting and is just preparing and trying to map out a way in case the fit hits the shan.
Hmm. Beautiful expression. Eren.
Eren's just locked on him, trying to see what kind of a mood he's trying to set here, if he's trying to be friendly, if he's trying to be intimidating, like just wants to kind of pick up the vibe, I guess.
Kari.
Instinctually, I'm going to cast Divine Sense. To gather the, I mean, like, I think I would assume that he's probably an undead or something, but to clock if anything or anyone else within 60 feet without total cover is a celestial fiend or an undead, or if any of the ground here is consecrated or desecrated.
Good thing you told me that, because you feel that the entire ground is desecrated.
Great.
It seems as if the skulls all around here that this hunchbacked individual has put up, you feel tremendously that this presence is very much on desecrated ground. And when you see Strahd pass by you, you feel the most powerful undead presence that you have ever felt before.
Hella undead. Got it. Do I get anything from the dog-like creature?
I did not say anything about the dog-like creature at all, so does that tell
So
you
it's
something?
it's not a fiend or anything. I'm just double checking.
Not at all.
Okay. And just begin to seethe in place, knowing that reaction right now is imprudent, but wishing desperately that she could just kick his ass.
Got it. Wystera, I'm asking you this. Are you pulling your eyes off of the ritual that you are currently processing in order to summon Twitch?
No.
All right. Squally, are you paying attention to the devil as he walks to his seat, or are you taking in that Wystera is not paying attention?
Actually, before we left in the last session, you mentioned that the air feels super thick, that all the spirits are just in the room screaming, and I can hear all of their last moments. Am I only able to hear that? Because I feel like if he's overwhelmed enough, he's not gonna change his
You were
face.
able to quell the spirits enough to have focus back here. So
Okay,
you
then
can
I
still
have-
hear them, but you are able to resist them. You don't know how long you will be able to hold that resistance.
Okay, I do turn to Strahd just because I think with the spirit being dormant, I do take my eyes off Wystera for this.
Very good. Strahd begins to move towards the chair and he sits down, seemingly with ease. That you see the chair almost like in a perfect position for it to accommodate your host in this moment. As he sits down, having you all in his presence, he just stares and says, "I'm glad you finally accepted my invitation. Cyrus will be here in a moment to bring you all refreshments as well as to bring you some food for this evening. I'm certain that you are all famished, and I can certainly see from the looks of you, you've been through a lot."
Why are we here?
I don't know if I'm the right person to ask for that.
Why were we invited here?
Well, my invitation before was simply to get to meet you all, to know you a little bit better, and mainly to pull you away from the world before I had torn you all apart.
You've met us all before.
I want to insight check that statement.
Sure, make an insight check.
I was gonna say, what does he mean by that?
I think that's
Can I also try to decipher his intentions with that statement?
Yeah, you can absolutely try. Or you can give Eren advantage.
Do you want me to give you advantage, or do you want me to make my own roll?
I feel like your insight's probably better than mine.
+5?
Yeah, mine's +1.
Yeah, okay.
Sure,
I got
Eren,
a
you
12, by the way.
got 12?
I rolled a
Yeah.
13 because I got 8 + 5. There you go.
All right.
13.
Eren, you with a 12, you feel as if that truly, I mean, you guys did come here on your own accord. He gave you the invitation, you guys decided to come. So it really is, the burden is on you guys here in terms of you all having to figure out what it is. And Kari, the only little bit of information you also have with that is that he didn't give you really the invitation, it was Esker. So it's kind of, it could even be like maybe Esker had a forged signature. Maybe it was like he didn't send this invitation for you all. It was and truly is like on you guys that you came here because you also didn't come the first night that he gave you the invitation. You waited a day. So I think I should be the one to actually ask you all, why are you here? And yes, I see you, Kylah.
All right, I'm just going back because I was confused. We found the invitation and then Esker showed up in the kitchen. I just found my notes because I couldn't find it earlier. That's why I asked. That's
That's
what
right.
I put down, but am I
The
mistaken?
invitation was left for you in the room, and Esker was in the house.
He was in another room.
He was in the basement. He was in the kitchen. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know if I believe that. But anyways, go on.
Mm-hmm. I could very well ask you the same question. Why are you here?
Answers.
You.
Well, to receive answers, one must first be able to ask a question, so ask away.
Well, we did ask why we were invited here. Kind of didn't give us that answer. So
Then I will give it to you now. It's only the best I can do for being a good host. I, too, have wished to better understand what it is you are hoping to accomplish here. And so I want to meet you all in person to better glean and understand the individuals as you are so, well, colorfully arranged, what you all seem to hope to gain from being here. At this moment, you guys hear the doors open, and you can actually see the hunchback Cyrus begin to come in. He's got like a tray on his hunch where he's like walking around with like this big tray of goblets and everything, and begins to pass them off. This one's for you. This one's for you. And he just kind of keeps going to go off the line very rudely. Once he gets up to Strahd, he's like, and this one's for you, my lord. That right here. Thank you. Thank you very much, Cyrus. How long on dinner? Oh, so it's going to be quite a little bit. It's getting a little bit rowdy in there. Very good.
what is this? What did he give us?
You examine it. It looks like wine.
Oh, I down it.
You down it, and it is like of the wine you've had. This is some of the best wine that you've had in this land. It is sweet and smooth, and you can feel it just like the aroma as it bursts in your mouth. It's intoxicating. Oh, Eren, you're loving this.
Oh. Say, Cyrus, keep him coming.
Right, that's a good lad, right? It's right there, he is. Opens the door and keeps going.
What's for dinner?
Well, Cyrus is a special chef and he arranges the menu himself personally. I do not ask about it. I prefer to be surprised.
Why the sudden interest in us?
Sudden.
We just appeared and suddenly we're your favorite people to keep an eye on, or
Well, I've been watching you for the last few weeks. I've been taking an interest in that for a while. Your activities across this land have been most impressive, and I must say, very active as well.
why? Because we don't just stay inside and do nothing? Like all the other people
Part
here?
of it, yes.
Why Squally's like trying to speak, but he's having a different why did you try to split us up?
Split you up.
Like I said, we've met you before in the fog on the
Mhm.
battlefield.
That was, well, as much as I find you all impressive, I can certainly tell that there is a very large personality between each and every single one of you. You can see that, and I felt the best way to be able to communicate would be to speak to each of you individually. And seeing as how all of you together seem to be quite slow at your questions and quite, well, waiting for some sort of answer, I would say that I was right.
More so, it seems you're threatened by us together as a group.
Why do you think I'm threatened by you as a group?
I don't
your-
believe you would have us here now if you weren't, and you didn't try to kill us. I'm pretty sure your hands were on my throat not but a few hours ago.
Keep your enemies closer, yes? Then Wystera goes back to focusing on.
I wonder how that phrase applies to you, my dear. Seeing as how you keep such close company with these ones, if you wish to apply it to that. Unless you do genuinely consider these ones to be your friends.
I do.
Ollie kind of like fold his arms together, like odd way of showing it.
And was the last group you took an interest in Tristan's
I
group
agree,
that's
Squally.
supposedly all dead now?
Those individuals I had expressed that I had seen, I must say that there was not a interest in the group that I had with them. In fact, I found them rather to be not very interesting at all.
Is that why one of them became an undead before the rest of them, in theory, died?
That I do not have much understanding of personally.
I don't believe you.
Hmm.
I don't believe that much goes on in any of this area without you knowing about it.
Why do you think that is, child?
Because, old man, we saw you from the house with the ghost children. We've seen you in the mists. We've seen you know things about us, and now sitting here talking to you, you're starting to gaslight some of us into pretending that you don't know things about us when you clearly do. You're someone who likes to have their fingers in every piece of pie, and then wants to pretend that you're giving us a pie of our own. And therefore, I don't trust you.
Wystera snickers.
You seem wise beyond your years.
I don't do well with people trying to control me.
Nor did I.
Sorry, I cut out a little bit there.
Who would control you?
Well, as your young friend here has expressed, an individual of my age. Well, They have a long history. My history is long, and it is filled with people who have attempted to try to exploit my powers before, and tried to exploit my station, my wealth, my land, my people. I have come from many people who have thought that I was one worth controlling, or at least worth taking the time. Some of those individuals you see before you now. He gestures to the walls.
Wystera looks up. Strahd, are you stuck here or do you choose to be here? Are you imprisoned here?
No, I wouldn't say I am. I would say that I'm as free as I ever have been.
Huh. Goes back to focusing.
Do you feel as if you're trapped in this moment here? Do you feel you have been trapped in this land? I ask you, what is the possible feeling you have with that? Why would you feel trapped in this place?
Squally lets out a squawk and just says yes before the question is fully answered or asked.
There's much to do here, isn't there? There's much to experience. There's much people to see. In fact, I believe many of you have experienced more of this world than others have. You simply do what I do on a daily basis. Travel about wherever you please. Travel to visit those that you wish to visit. See the people that, well, in my case, I'm responsible for. And I think even in some cases that you are responsible for.
Oh, I get it.
Looks at you,
I-
Eren, with that line.
I don't break eye contact.
Can I do an insight, can Wystera do an insight check on that answer that he sort of gave her?
Yeah, absolutely. As you hear Cyrus come in, oh, here's another ball for you. Found it right there. Specialty for you, you young little lad. Boom, boom, and smacks you on the back of the head. At this point, too, he also begins to pass out these bowls of stew to all of you. He brings it as well, like gently towards his master.
19 on
insight.
insight
19 on insight.
on that particular answer of, are you stuck here?
Wystera, you gleam. You, as somebody who has been a prisoner a prisoner of nobility, can tell Strahd holds that position. He certainly does. Now, you also gleam something else. It's not a sense of being a prisoner of nobility. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Okay. And
You have a feeling you don't really know it. You don't really know exactly what it is, but you do have a sense. Seeing in the mist when you went to the hill, when you saw that kingdom, when you saw that castle there, you have a feeling that whatever these mists are, there's something about them that is being constructed and controlled. And whatever that construction control is, it limits the potential for what Strahd is capable of doing. Now, he's a powerful individual. And you know that anybody in nobility is going to be able to utilize that power to whatever extent they possibly could. And that's not the limitation. The limitation is simply, where can you go? So in the idea of, does he feel prisoner in terms of a land area in this whole valley of Barovia? Maybe. But what someone can do in that moment, what he can push in that moment, is he can do a lot more than most people can. And because of what you've seen in terms of the climate, the fact that it doesn't come up, there's like no sunrise, the fact that this individual is kind of being able to go whenever they please at any point, it feels like they are actually able to use a lot more power than could be prescribed to somebody of this nature anywhere else.
So given Vistra's background, does Wystera maybe have a sense in the way that a devil would giveth to and taketh away for, that this whole situation kind of not sure how to phrase it, reminds her? Does Wystera glean that this feels familiar to her?
Not on a magical perspective, not with a 10.
Okay.
But I will say, in terms of a background, you know that where you come from, the actual ties of the land, it means something. And if someone is coming from there, if that city was any indication, this is an individual who's probably come from those dark powers. Some kind of dark magic, whether it be devilish, whether it be undead, or whether it be a draconic. One of those three powers holds sway in this land. And you don't necessarily know fully the extent of what kind of that whole bringeth, taketh away kind of thing, if it's of the same concept.
Sure. Yep, that works. Thank you.
Food is brought out to you all in this moment. The stew sits ready. You all have these kind of like little forks that are kind of designed with like little bone, like they're kind of made out of bone and wood as they're kind of like mixed onto each other. Strahd is given a beautiful set of silverware. It's gorgeous with like little like encrusted gemstones just onto it. And he slowly begins to like drink from the liquid.
Cyrus.
Cyrus, you gotta tell me what's in this.
Oh, where are we at? Here, right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about something that's it. This is one of my specialty favorites. It's something I picked out personally. Found it roaming around the castle, actually. Was able to take it, and I shoved it inside of a stew that I've been letting mixed up for the last 3 days. It's nice and ripe, nice and sweet. Got a nice bit of protein in there, too. You just give it a nice little stir around there, and you'll get a nice little gob in your mouth.
Cyrus, you didn't answer the question.
What's in this?
Oh, that's the question!
What
Specifics.
did you find roaming around the castle?
I answered the question, but I answered it my own personal way. I found stuff roaming around the castle. And I
What
took it.
stuff?
Sly's gonna take a sniff of the stew and see if he can like pinpoint what it is.
Ooh,
Am I able to do that?
Use your cat-like reflex. Go ahead and roll. I'm gonna say you can roll a you can roll a nature check or a perception check. And hell,
Okay.
I'll say you can do it with advantage.
Sweet. Perception 8.
8. You go deep into it. There's salt in this. There's fresh herbs in this. This is a stew that is like rich people stew. The chieftains of your entire raiding party, these are the special spices that they kept for themselves, Sly. This is a rich stew right in front of you right now. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Okay.
Yeah, Sly's just gonna be like shrug it off, and he's probably eating worse, so he's just gonna eat.
Yeah, you go off and eat. First thing you get is a little bit of protein in your mouth. You're like, yes, and you just start going for it.
Can I tell what it is now that I've eaten it?
You've eaten it. This is like some really, really well cured and well treated, like well aged, meat. Like it's like it tastes like kind of like you think it's got like this kind of like you couldn't pinpoint it. Maybe it was like some kind of like Aruk. Maybe you're going something that's a little bit boar heavy, but it's like nice.
Okay. Yeah, Sly's just gonna like keep eating. He doesn't really care.
Wystera eat. He doesn't care.
So Cyrus,
Yeah.
until you tell me specifically what you killed and put in this, I am not eating this.
All right.
Yeah.
And he just goes and takes the bowl away from you and begins to walk away.
I slap it out of his hand.
Hey! You just see the whole thing like mix down and fall onto the floor, and he's just like, well, great, now I gotta go get another one. So it's wonderful. He just goes and grabs
Don't
the
you
bowl.
bullshit me, Cyrus.
I would bullshit you all I want. It's a Cyrus. You hear Strahd's voice cut across. It's master, yes. Leave the wine, the small one here. It seems that is the one thing that he wishes to partake and will not question.
Yeah, keep the wine coming, please, Cyrus.
All right, master. And you see him look, and he just gives a big wink and walks out.
Don't keep the wine.
I would like to point out that I have not touched a single thing that's been put in front of me.
Eren downed the second glass of wine already.
Squally doesn't touch it either.
Eren, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
No.
Cool.
Remember,
He's
you have a
already
-4 to this. You have a -4 for being dead a few hours ago.
Is it a saving throw?
It is a saving throw.
How about don't I have the thing now? Where me and all allies within 10 feet of me get +3 to saves.
Okay, so it's minus
Damn.
1.
So is it
-1?
So
Yeah.
it's +6, but it's still a 9.
It's a 9.
It's a 9.
By the time this bottle is down throughout your whole system, Eren, you are gonna be so drunk. Strahd looks at all of you at this moment in this kind of whole display. He mostly locks eyes now with Squally, Kari, and Sly. Seeing that Wystera is completely enamored with her, or focused on her other project. I wish to ask you all a very interesting question. At least I find it myself interesting. In your travels across my land, I want to know, is there anything you've discovered that has brought you, well, to any sense of clarity? Do you feel as if you have a better understanding than you had before you came here about this place, about this entire well, I'm sure that many people outside call it mists, many people here do the same. Have you come with any better understanding of yourselves than you had before you entered?
I came.
No, you go.
No.
When
I-
Canadian play D&D.
I came here for answers about one specific thing. And all I've gotten are half answers that I can't believe or not. And none of those questions, none of the answers I was looking for had to do with myself or these fucking lands that you seem to think are yours. I don't care how much I think you want to play God, because everything you've said so far has, all it's done is highlight the fact that you seem to think you're a god. And all I see is some undead, entitled rich man who likes to play with people like they're his toys.
Sly, the
So-
second you hear that, the smoke begins to come through.
I personally will answer your question, but I don't think your question applies to me because I'm not your toy. I came looking for answers about my brother, and the ones that I have gotten displease me.
Ask your question to me right now, and I will give you as straight an answer as I can, or as I personally feel I should give. But I warn you with this now, if you wish for a specific answer. I will not hide from you, I will not hide anything. You will have to accept that answer.
I would like to know every detail of everything that my brother did since he arrived in these lands, and every single thing that happened to him, leading up to, during, and after his interactions with you.
Well, I can tell you this, I don't have to give you a full understanding of your brother through these lands, because as I said, he did not interest me as he entered into my lands. He did not interest me when he came through. He did not interest me when he went to whatever village he decided to stay in. The only time I was ever interested in your brother, or even I will say not gave interest, but focus, is when he groveled and begged at my feet to greater understand anything. When he came into my castle without my invitation, coming to skulk through my halls, to come through my chambers, to better understand, to disturb my presences. He came through all high and mighty, looking for some great power, and I made sure that he saw it. I showed him the full extent of my power, and in that, I saw a mortal that was completely and utterly driven by faith, and I saw that faith expunged. You say that I'm not a god. That's very true. Maybe I'm not a god, but the certainty is I can kill gods. I killed it in your brother's heart. I killed it in his mind. That is what I did. That is what I do. So if you want directness, child, I will give it to you. Your brother did not interest me as he came into this land because your brother does not have anything of interest. You do. Because I see in you the true heart of someone, not of someone that is covered in faith, but as someone that is very much like myself. What you carry with you is something that I carry every day. And if you need to ask a question about what that is, then I feel as if you're not looking for answers in the first place, and I'm just looking to hear yourself talk. Your brother saw true power, and it frightened him, so he ran away. Where he ran, I don't know. But the very fact that your friends potentially are no longer living, maybe that is the answer. Maybe you shouldn't be looking for him in the lands, but maybe you should be looking for him in the ruins with a rope around his neck. That might be what you look for next. You, and he looks at you, Sly. As smoke kind of pulls through, I want to ask you something. You've been on the hunt, yes? You've been seeking for something to claim as your own, yes? Why are you still here? Did you not go to the hill? Did you not hear the spirits? Did you not listen to them when they were claiming and telling you that you were potentially destined for something greater than simply being here as a large, tall, muscle-bound figure wrapped in scars upon your body? Did you not take the chance to actually listen to and occupy yourself with a better understanding of what you are capable of doing? Why do you sit here like a docile creature?
Sly just intently stares at Strahd, and it's just in his head, he's just trying to be like, Kari said undead, is Strahd undead? So now he's just trying to like click to see if Strahd is undead and just compose himself while he eats his stew. And he didn't say anything to Strahd.
Very well. Seems you're learning one thing. Your words are wasted on my ears. Well, that's good. That means you're looking for something that will actually give you its time. And you. Looks at you, Squally, and says, I see something in you and I feel something disturb the air in this moment. Stirring up all around you. Yes, I can hear it too. It's quite interesting, isn't it? The glorious sounds that fill your ears. The pressure that you feel upon your wings, your feathers, your beak. You feel it tensing around you like a vice.
but it is a vice that is hoping so desperately that you can pull it out and change its state. You know there is nothing that can be done to change its state. None of them. None of them can do anything but hope and cling to one of you. You feel it. And I can see you are hoping to do something with it. And it frustrates you.
And I know deep down that you are the cause.
Maybe to some. But there are others who are responsible for few of them. I will not lay claim to all of them. In fact, one of those voices might actually be one that you recognize. And you begin to hear, Squally. Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage because Strahd is helping you in this moment.
Ah! That'll be a 16.
You can faintly hear it. There is a voice coming through that sounds aggressive, angry. It's talking about, you killed me. All of you did this. You can just hear it, and it's hard for you to really pinpoint the voice. You don't remember it. But you look to the wall, and you can see buried in, like, there's a bunch of like human skulls like on one portion, but you kind of like begin to focus slowly on one in particular. It looks a little bit fresher than the rest. And as you begin to kind of see the make and structure of the skull and the shape of the face, it reminds you of Isek, the bodyguard to the burgomaster in Valaki. Now, it is at this time in the entire meeting, as things kind of begin to go. Eren, how you doing, bud?
Drunk, apparently.
Oh yeah. How is that? How's that hitting you right now?
Kind of just floating off in the, just again getting caught up in the fact that I don't have my spirit with me anymore. My spirit's like, it's really getting to me, and the alcohol is now making me go into my feels a little bit. I'm kind of forgetting where I am and just disappearing into myself a little bit.
You got it. Wystera, at this point, you're coming near the end of the actual ritual to bring Twitch back. Squally, it's at this moment that you begin to focus on this one particular voice. You realize kind of in this moment why Strahd was helping you to get to that. It was to reopen that oppression. You feel that you could potentially leave here with everyone at this moment. But you also know that Wystera is not completely done their ritual. And if they disturb it, it's going to take even longer.
With my eyes still on the skull. And with turning a little bit, actually a little bit blue, like a dark navy blue.
Your father's dark navy blue.
I'll keep my focus on the skull, but I'll kind of address everyone and say it appears the answers we seek, we already know. And I don't think we're going to get anything further. And then I'll look at Kari.
I think that's fair.
And I'll look at Sly.
Sly's still just locked in on Strahd, but he gives like a slight nod.
Okay, and then I look at Strahd because Wystera's doing her own thing. I'll just say, I believe we're finished here. And I'll kind of stand up, but like falter because I'm terrified a little bit. So I turn a little bit pale blue and then try to stand up.
As you stand up, Squally, it's that moment. Does anybody else kind of like accompany Squally in this gesture of leaving?
Yeah, I'll put my hands on the table. And as I kind of, stand up, thank you for the stimulating conversation and the offering of a meal.
I'll nod my head to him as well, but like barely making eye contact.
I'm like kind of mocking his formality and fanciness, but only just a little bit, because I also understand that this is probably someone who could absolutely murder all of us if he just like felt like it. So riding the tension a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Living on the edge.
So Wystera keeps focusing on what she's doing, so she doesn't look up, but she says, Strahd, would you like to give us a tour of the rest of your domicile here?
All he does one of these, like
Like, really?
Anything
Go ahead and make a persuasion
fascinating
check.
to see around here, Strahd?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
$24.
Ooh!
I thought you guys would never ask. Okay, let's go.
Well, I was gonna keep sitting down and scaring you guys, but no, this sounds pretty good.
Behold my stuff.
And so this is what I got when I was in Gorhel. Anyway, Strahd looks at you, Wystera, and a gentle smile comes on his face. What I must say, you feel as this smile comes across, your pendant right now, your pendant which takes on the amber kind of glow, you see a slight spinning of blue kind of come through in the mix, just ever so slightly. Like a pale blue, and he stares and he says, well, I must say, it does mean quite a bit to me that you would want me to be able to show you around my castle here. It took many years to assemble, and I'm most certain that you would have a wonderful time to be able to see it, and I would be able to give you the best experience to do so. However, well, I was going to simply say that you can all rest for the evening, which obviously you are more welcome to, because I was going to inquire where your friends were going to be leaving to. But I feel it would be best for you all to stay here for the night. We already have rooms drawn up, and we'll make sure that you are all comfortable. I myself will not be able to give you a tour, however. And it is because of this. And he flashes you all a postcard, similar to the postcards that you guys have seen across. I'm sure that you would be able to understand finding something like this and discovering what you have been able to read. These are quite interesting little bits of information. And I'm afraid that these pieces of information, they are more pressing to my attention. And he tosses it towards you, Wystera. David, I'm going to send this to you in our little chat here.
Okay.
And if possible, I would like you to read this out loud, please.
Would that break the concentration on the summon?
It very well could.
Oh.
This is the Zoom message you're sending it to me?
No, I'm sending it to you through Signal.
Oh, got it.
We use Signal for our DMs and everything like that.
Yeah.
Which is not a promotion whole thing. It's just that's what we do.
Liam, may I?
Yes.
At some point during when Strahd seems particularly focused on anyone else, or perhaps when we're leaving the room, I would like to see at some point if I can sneak some of the wine and some of the stew into like a vessel in my bag.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Thank you. Breaking things. It's not great, but we'll see. It's only a +2. It's an 8.
Okay. You, and during the night, take some of the wine, take some of the stew, and you put it inside of a vial. And not like separate vials, you said. Bring them separate.
Yeah,
vials.
yeah. I was like, I'm not mixing. I wanted to be able to look at them later.
Yum.
For sure. I will let you know too, Kari, that as you do that, you kind of wait a couple seconds and then you feel something come by your feet and you feel something start lapping up the liquid on the ground.
Is the dog thing?
You look down and you expect to see Rufus, and instead you see the shadow mastiff that is licking up the actual
Spooky
liquid and
Rufus.
looks deep into your eyes. Yes.
Spoopus.
Spoopus.
Sure, would you care to read that out loud?
Spoopus.
Or would you like to pass it off to someone else?
I think that Wystera, I would like Wystera to deftly catch it as he tosses it to her, but she stays focused and hands it across the table to Kari, if that's possible.
Kari, you can absolutely read it out loud if you would like.
Sure. If that's the intention.
Strahd also, while you are pulling that up and taking the time to check it out, Strahd says, unfortunately, there are many engagements that I must take care of in this valley. I'm sure you can understand that I now have an entire village to take care of, now with some new leadership. And, well, I also have a wedding to prepare for, so if you all understand, there's much that must be getting done. Kari?
Wystera immediately. Is that the wedding of the abbot?
He looks at you and says, of the abbot?
Just wondering.
Is that who he is intending this bride that he has to be for?
Far as I know.
Interesting. Well, I wonder how you will feel sharing her with me. Kari.
Wystera sighs.
Preparing to read that out loud and then pausing for a second at the prospect of brother husbands. My companions, I wish you blessings in Valaki. There is one place that is blessing corporeal. There is an inn called the Blue Water Inn, run by the family Martikov. Erwin, Danica, and their 2 sons, Brom and Bray, have made the closest thing to civilization in such a bleak province. Indeed, the inn is viewed by many to be the only true place of comfort in all of Valaki and perhaps Barovia. What is more, I have noted a particular man that stays in this veritable oasis, Rick Tavio. He claims to be a carnival ringmaster and enjoys telling wild stories of grand and fantastic creatures. Where does he gain such specific knowledge of these beasts? I dare say and know well that most of his stories are accurate. In truth, friends, I suspect that Rictavio is concealing his true identity. I believe he is a monster slayer bent, as I am, on removing the pestilence from this land. After all, it takes one slayer to know another. Friends, if you can curry favor with this man, should he prove to be what I suspect him to be, he will no doubt be an excellent and perhaps necessary cog in the wheel of the vampire-killing machine we've assembled in our motley crew. Study him well, gather insight, and perhaps we can all work to eliminate Strahd together. Ever yours. And there is no signature. It just says 10 on it in a little circle.
Strahd looks at you because, like, I'm believing you have this, like, just in your simple possession, Kari, as he looks to you and says, from the information gleaned on this, it seems I'm going to having to lay a visit to this individual, as for some reason, this one person I am not able to find due to any means that I have. I wonder why that is the case, but regardless, now I will be able to properly introduce this person to my lands, or at least welcome them. And, well, this, I'm afraid that my attention is going to be taken elsewhere.
Can I
But-
clarify something?
Sure.
He didn't just understand, like, this isn't his first, he read this before I read it, right? Was it me reading it out loud that made him understand
No. That's
Okay.
simply you reading for the table.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. So I was like, I wouldn't have necessarily blatantly read it out loud without reading it personally
The
first.
joys of
I
having like an
assumed
element
this
of
was-
like
yeah.
a performative theater space and being like, wait, did I just fuck up bad?
That's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was
Oh,
clarifying. 'Cause
shit.
I was like, was I
The
reading this for
DM
the
said
player?
read it, and I did, and was that
Yeah.
a bad thing?
I was like, was I? Okay, yeah.
Strahd in this moment says, your rooms are ready, and Cyrus will be able to take care of you all. For myself, I must depart. But I'm certain we will cross paths very soon. And who knows, maybe I will be able to invite you to my wedding. And you guys begin to see as Strahd in this moment takes up the same mist form that was outside in the forest before. He disperses, as does the shadow beast in the room. As the mist begins to go, as the shadow begins to pass, you see the door open. It's like,
Hey, right, everyone, put these blindfolds back up. Here, the master, he said for you to take off. Now, take these blindfolds out. Come on, pass them out.
I just put it on.
Did anyone other than myself meet Rictavio?
you guys did meet Rictavio. Yes.
Did everyone though?
Yes, you guys had just kind of casually seen him before in the inn. You were one of the only people that really had a personal interaction with him.
Well, he helped me with my skit
Yes,
for the sun.
he helped you with your performance skit. Yes.
Did Strahd notice my reaction at all? Probably not. He left.
Many people trying to run covert operations shouldn't put things in writing.
Not wise.
Who
At
else
this
do
moment,
you think is Strahd?
Wystera, your ritual is completed. Squally, I need you to make another charisma saving throw for me, please.
Oh, no. Ooh, 21.
You're okay for now. Wystera, as you complete the ritual, the orange fire bursts out at this moment, and you see coming up out of the flame, which the small purple imp, looking a little bit bigger, looking a little bit of a longer wingspan, with the tail a little bit, well, the tail's a little bit longer, but losing some of its stinger. You see as Twitch comes out with a few spines up on their form, they're like, oh, wow, okay, that was good to be back. That was good to be back. Wystera, how you doing, girl? How you doing?
Twitch, you look marvelous.
Fantastic. Oh my God, where are we? This is fantastic. And Twitch just immediately starts flying around the entire room, checking out all the skulls. Hey, take off of my walls, straight for my skulls. And you see that Cyrus just kind of begins to like try to get Twitch away from this.
Fantastic.
The rest
While
of you
he's
on right now.
and so while he's just distracted, I will put on my blindfold in a way where I can totally see out of it, but it doesn't like kind of what I did before.
You got it. The rest of you.
Now that Strahd's gone, Sly can kind of like compose himself a bit more. So he's not smart enough to think about what Kari is, so he just puts on the blindfold.
Right.
Can Squally show everyone else the skull?
I mean, everyone else can really see. Oh, you're talking about. I thought you were talking about the dragon
Yeah.
one.
Oh, no,
Anyone who has their eyes exposed, yes.
I would like to point it out.
Sure. As you do that, Twitch, who was enamored with Isak a little bit, comes over to the skull, sees it, and goes, "And once a mighty champion now lies upon the head of a mangled and beautiful place. You are buried where you belong, oh great champion," and goes and kisses the head of this dead man.
Alas, poor Isaac, I knew him well.
Alas, poor Isak.
I'll point out Strahd was attempting to point this out in order to guilt us, I believe, into thinking he's not the cause for a lot of deaths here. And in fact, we were the cause of this one, but how did it get here? Anyone?
Take my blindfold back off. I mean, he just showed us that he can travel by mist. The guy can bring anything anywhere, probably.
Why would he collect all these skulls as like trophies?
Because he's playing God. I meant what I said. It makes him feel powerful. A lot of people think that what Strahd is pursuing, these, examples of how much death he can cause, how much power he has, how people grovel at his feet and fall to beneath him. A lot of people think that's what a deity is. That's what a god is. And there are, I'm sure, some gods like that, but it's not what they're supposed to be. At least not the ones worth paying attention to. So he's playing a losing game.
Certainly.
I still have my blindfold on, but I just say, he thinks we're stupid. He doesn't want to tell us anything. He clearly has some kind of interest in us, but he's lying. Nothing that is coming out of his mouth is the truth.
I think he's worried we're not stupid.
He's clearly worried about something, or he wouldn't have had us here, as you said.
I just don't know what it is about us that makes us worrisome versus, for example, another group of people who I would have argued were just as powerful and just as interesting.
We did talk to him through the spirit board. He wants some of us dead and he wants to keep some of us alive. Again, that could be a total lie too. That could be to just try to turn us against each other or something. I don't know.
Probably.
DM, just in this, Sly's gonna take off his blindfold and he's gonna look at the wall of skulls and see if there's any raven-like ones.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Nice.
How does inspiration work again?
Inspiration. So the inspiration die, if
Mhm.
you have it, you can roll with advantage automatically. So it's like you spend that die to get automatic advantage.
Okay. I'm at 10 for investigation.
It's gonna take you some time, and one of the things that kind of prevents you from really looking at the wall, you can see a couple creatures, maybe some like maybe gleams like maybe it's a bird, but could also be a dinosaur. You hear behind you,
You know something you guys talk about my master that makes me think sometimes that I am a servant that is brought into this world that is meant to do menial tasks my master does not seem to wish me to do or doesn't seem to wish to do himself. And I feel sometimes that when I cook, I'm not being properly catered to.
You should unionize.
I'm just kidding, my master's great and you're all a bunch of degenerate fuckers.
and he smacks you guys all in the ass, and is just like,
Now I said to put your blindfolds on, and all of you put them on and then took them right off. You did the exact opposite of what I said. Who told you to take your blindfolds off?
I am going to get right up in his face and say, I don't care who the fuck you think you are. You do not touch my ass.
Oh, you listen to me.
as he comes up right behind, he's like,
I'm Cypress Bellevue, and I'm the one of the people you should start respecting here, small one. You listen to me?
I respect people who treat me with respect. When you purposefully don't answer questions I ask, and when you touch me, even though I'm a fucking child, I don't have respect for you. Respect is earned. It is not demanded. I don't care who the fuck you think you are. Now ask me nicely and I will put the blindfold back on.
go ahead and make an intimidate check right now.
Thank you very much.
Wystera casts Mage Hand and whacks him on the ass with it.
Ah!
As an 18 intimidation.
You feel that moment where it's like you just get up in his face and he's just like, and then matched with the slap on the ass. He just kind of turns around and then he just kind of doesn't turn back to face you. The slap on the ass was a reason for him to turn around and not look at you in the eye. And so he's like, all right, put your blindfolds on. We got to get going up to get you inside some beds. Let's go. And he just starts walking immediately.
Before he walks away, Sly's just gonna grab him by like the scruff of his tunic or whatever and like pull him up. How tall is he? 'Cause
He's
I'm picturing
about
like Eren height.
he's about 4'5" and he's like hunched. He's a stocky
Okay.
dude.
Okay, Sly's gonna try and like pick him up and be like, and point him to like the skulls on the wall, and be like, "Did any of these come in today?"
He's go. You know what? Kari, go ahead and roll that intimidate with advantage on that moment, because I'm going to see how much he's genuinely like open to talk just in this moment right now.
This is I'm rolling again?
Yeah, just roll, and if it's higher, you let me know if it's higher than an 18.
No, it was not.
All right, he's like,
It was almost 20.
No, one of them came in yesterday. That was it. No, none of them came in today.
There's been no new bodies or anything come in today.
No,
It's been- This is the
I
same
saw
day
my
that
master
the
have a body, but I'm going to get to play with it, so no.
damn, it was the day that the Raven guy died, right?
Elvir died today, yes.
He did that today.
But he just said there's a new body, but he can't play with it yet.
Where is that?
I don't know. My master keeps it where only keeps the bodies I can't play with.
So I was just gonna like slam him down on the ground and like, you're gonna take us to that body right now, or
make-
I'll let my friend deal with you. And he points to Kari.
Immediately in this moment, I need you to roll what do I make you roll? Go ahead and make an intimidate check using your strength modifier.
Aye.
That's cocked. Okay.
I'm gonna use my inspiration on this because I have one.
All right.
But I'm proficient in it, so that's a 23.
Oh, hell yeah.
You smack him hard enough that as you smack him, he drops his little stick that he walks around with, and his like head is just right onto the thing on the table. He looks up, and there's a moment where he kind of looks up at the skulls and almost envisions himself being one of them. He pulls off in that moment. He's like, all right, I'll take you. I'll take you to where he takes him. Just let go of the scruff of my neck. I'll just cut it today, and I like where it's at.
Like, let's go.
And he just flops down. Cyrus is now going to get up, and he is going to take you guys down to where they take the bodies. And we're going to take a break right there. We're going to come back in about 20 minutes.
Right
Hell
on.
yeah.
Well, I guess the mechanics I spent 2.5 hours
Oh.
making don't mean shit now. Okay.
Where's-
Let's just
you
freak
should
out
know
the
better.
guys
You
who
should
just
know
did
better.
it.
I
So,
just want to make the hunchback piss himself.
I just put the music I've been listening to this entire time. It's called Castle Ravenloft 1 hour gothic orchestral music for role playing. So if anyone else wants to be listening to that, that's what I do. Thanks, Carly.
Okay, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, from our little break. And I came back, if you guys want to like an understanding of D&D, like truly, I started this game off with a smoothie, taking care of myself, and now I have breakfast sausage, bacon, a croissant, and or a cake with chocolate in it, and a glass of whiskey. Because that is what happens when you go to break.
Breakfast of champions.
This is literally what I wish I could have. This is what my breakfast place, if they start serving alcohol, watch out. All right. Ugh. Okay. So when last we just left, you guys decided to intimidate a mongrel folk to the point of telling you where the hell you guys have to go. So, okay. I don't know if I should do this anymore, but I think I should. Because I think it's important.
DM?
Yeah, I'm gonna DM. I'm gonna keep doing it. I wasn't sure if I
Okay.
would. Wasn't sure if I would do it.
I didn't want us to break you permanently.
Yeah, David's just like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to take on the responsibility.
No, we
Okay.
have to break him before he TPKs us.
Right.
Before we accept the invitation to go to bed, we have to, for the love of God, make sure we find shit. Okay, I'm gonna take a bite of my croissant.
Also, no way he was just letting us go to bed.
All right.
So
let me
as
tell you-
this happens, Wystera immediately says in her mind to her familiar, look around as much as possible. Scout the shit out of this place.
Which is gonna take that. Well, David, congratulations. You have just given me a reason to actually introduce what I did. You
You're
guys,
welcome.
I'm introducing to you. That's why we have you here, David. You give me a reason to segue into my cool shit. So, I'm going to introduce you guys to some new mechanics. For one of the things that I was struggling with is in my first beginning of playing D&D, I only ever played first edition. This is the very first session I've ever run doing a big dungeon. That's what Castle Ravenloft is. It's a dungeon. It's a big dungeon. It's massive and there's lots of chambers. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. We're happy. It's a lot. And it's a lot. And if we were to do this the old-fashioned way of you guys getting grid paper out and having to sculpt every door and hex and everything, we'd get lost and we'd probably be doing this for 7 sessions until we all hated D&D. So, I'm going to tell you guys, This is how we're going to focus on exploring Castle Ravenloft when you guys are not involved in social interactions. So when you guys are exploring this, I'm going to tell you right now, you guys have opportunities to become one of two things. Either you're going to be in a group or you're going to be an individual. Now, groups are people that consist of 2 or more people. That's all that a group is. So if you have like 2 people, congratulations, you're a group. If you're on your own, you're an individual. When you are in a group, there is no chance for you to hide whatsoever. When you're an individual, you have that luxury. You will be able to hide. That's the benefit of going out on your own. When you're in a group, you are not able to hide from anything that is present in the rooms that you're in or the chambers you face. Now, within a group, you elect a leader of this group. The leader of the group is able to make rolls with advantage, as if you are being given the help action by somebody that is in your party. You simply have to have somebody in your group say who is going to help you for a particular action. The leader is the only person that can make these checks. So, for example, if a leader is like, let's give just a quick example. If like Sly is a leader of a group and Sly wants to commit to a certain action, he will be able to roll for this. And if Eren wants to help him out, then he's able to get advantage. The leader of the group also makes a group initiative roll. That means that whatever that person rolls for initiative, that is the number that you guys go on. That is your collective group thing. You all act together in that opportunity, unless I specify otherwise.
Huh.
Now, groups can consist of 2 or more people, absolutely. Multiple groups can be made and can choose to stay with other groups. You just let me know what group is like filled with which people. The reason I'm telling you this, is because if there is a particular trap that affects a certain group, it will only affect that group. It will not affect the other one unless it does affect that other group. There are certain situations when that can happen. Now, when you are, let's see here. Yes, you're in the castle. You're in Castle Ravenloft. There are multiple floors here. If you are going to be 1 or more floors apart from a group, no, if you are more than 1 floor away. So if let's say you're on 1 floor here and another floor is right here, if the group down below goes here, and if group A is down here and group A is up here, you will not be able to know what's going on with the other group. You will only be able to know that something is happening to the other group if you are 1 floor away. And if there is an individual, if something is happening to an individual, you won't know that something is happening to them unless you're on the same floor. Is that all making sense?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to tell you guys a couple things here. Finally, there are certain exploring actions that you guys can take. The actions that you can do, and you can do this in a particular room. So if you guys are in a room, a chamber, corridor, whatever, these are the actions you can take. You can search for treasure. Hey, you can do that. You can search for traps. That's fun. You can disarm traps. That's also pretty fun. You can search for an exit, because presently, you guys don't necessarily know how to get in and out of Castle Ravenloft. Kari, you would be able to kind of glean something from this, but you wouldn't know perfectly well. You can search for information. There are particular kinds of information you can search for. An objective or a quest-related information thing, that's something you can do. There's also, you can search about information regarding the castle, if there's any kind of history, kind of stuff like that. Or particularly naming of rooms. So you can find particular room names. You can also find out information about Strahd if you want to search for information with that. Basically, like the owner of a castle or dungeon like this. You can also scout ahead. You can have somebody scout ahead for you or do some surveillance. Now, there is the option with this where you can reveal particular rooms up ahead. or around you, maybe even some things like that are in the area, this option allows for someone to separate from a group and become an individual. You can also ready your group. This action is something that can allow you to take immediate activity in a combat. So if your initiative is really low and you want to ready yourselves for something that's coming towards you, you can do that because then you might be able to act before anything. You can use items and equipment. You can also search for secret doors. And finally, you can request an action. If there's something on here that I have not expressed and you can want to maybe do something like that, you can request it. 2 things to keep in mind. Well, 3 things actually. 1, certain rooms might not have what you seek. It might just be a waste of time to be able to look for stuff, but you can do it anyway. The reason that's important is because with this kind of mechanic, there can be a fear of spamming. Let's just do all these actions in every single room. I will let you know, for every 5 actions that the leader makes in a particular room, after 5 actions are taken, I will roll a d20, and I will see if something happens to you guys in that room. Also, what I was talking to you guys about initiative or choices and actions taken, you guys can choose to swap leaders in your groups. You can choose to make a new leader for your group potentially. Every time you switch out the leader, the new leader rolls a d20 to see if something happens.
Hey, is this everything you've just read us? Is this a general dungeon crawl thing, or is it a Strahd thing, or is this a Liam thing, or?
This is a Liam thing that I have made up myself, particularly for big dungeons, because there are certain dungeons that are so big that it hurts that the idea of, like, for example, what we did with like the Death House, that was an exploring every room because it was a small dungeon, tightly packed. We were able to do it on a map. This is too big. This is for scale, this is a 360-foot castle.
We'd be here for 3 years, right? That's really cool. Love it.
Okay, so Eren's not going to be the leader of anything because I'm a -4 on everything right now.
So I'm going to open this up with you guys right now as I eat a croissant. Cyrus is going to be taking you guys through a room. You can choose to have him be your group leader if you want, if you're all in one group, or you guys can divvy up into other groups.
Huh.
I mean, I think we should stick together at least till we get, what's his name? Elvir.
Yeah, I'd like to stick together and probably have him as group leader while we're trying to find the body.
Yeah, my plan was just to like hold him out and basically use him as like a trap gauge. So if
Trap
anything
shield,
gets
like
pretty much. So if anything's gonna get sprung, it'll spring on him. So maybe he won't lead us down a trap infested route.
Yeah, Wystera is going to stick with the group. I mean, you never know what she'll do, but right now she's going to stick with the group.
All right. So do you want Twitch to then scout ahead on their own?
Yes, that was the intention, is just go have fun and let me know if you find anything interesting.
Okay, so Twitch, your imp is going to go. Oh, and I will let you know something here, Wystera. You have not signed the contract currently that Twitch has brought out with you, so your powers are still not currently activated.
Okay.
All right, Twitch had rolled their die for their looking around. Let's look at this bad boy. So, where is Cyrus going to go? Cyrus is going to make a roll then. Is anybody going to help Cyrus with this, or is Cyrus on his own?
I'll help Cyrus, and I'll say, sorry, I smacked the plate out of your hands.
Like, given the fact that a child yelled at me and this guy smacked me in the table, that's the nicest bit of kindness anyone's ever given me. So I'll look for you, small
So,
one.
like, now that we're all friends, can you tell us what was in the stew?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check with
With a -4.
with a -4.
So 16, so 12.
Well, he looks at you. He says, "I'll put people in it.
Oh, Cyrus!
I'll put people in it. Not
So
like
I
living.
knew it.
People.
I didn't put living people in it. That'd be gross.
Of course they're not alive. They're in the stew.
Yeah, of course they're not. Well, they're not technically not alive. So, they're like, they're not dead. You know.
Cyrus, don't feed people.
Why not?
You know who the
It's
people
just
were?
wrong.
No, there's just a bunch of skulking bits wandering about. They're like, they going around the castle and stuff like that.
Oh,
There's just undead
I'm
people
so
that walk
glad I
around the
didn't eat
castle?
that.
I mean, sometimes.
You fed us undead people?
What I think I meant when I said that they weren't not dead, They weren't dead. They're just, they're still rolling around in there. I took care of it.
Cyrus.
What? I'll fed you the knees. They're not going to be crawling out of there anytime soon.
Oh, Cyrus.
Is
Who
the
ate the
wine?
stew?
Is the wine wine?
Wine's wine.
It's
Is
good
there
wine.
anything in the wine? Cyrus?
Nothing in the wine. I
Lovely.
wanted to put wine in it because it's the quickest way for me to get more meat for my stew. But Master said not to do it this time. This time.
So
So you
normally,
usually poison the wine.
Not always. It's like, not like bad poison, just like sleepy time stuff.
And then you put those people in the stew.
No! Put them in the stew when they, undie,
When they undie. Okay. Well, you know what? For what it's worth, I respect you for giving me an honest answer.
That's good. All right, let's get going here. Cyrus
Can I make-
begins to look.
sorry, I
Yeah?
was just say, can I make sure that I'm within 10 feet of Cyrus? And ideally, in theory, everybody. If I can try and get as many people within 10 feet of me. But if any
sure.
saving throws have to be made, I can assist.
Sure. Let me ask, who's going to be closest to Cyrus in this case?
I think it's
I
Sly.
think it's me. I'm kind of like holding him and guiding him along.
All right. Who's near him?
I'll be there too.
All right.
I'll stick close to Sly.
And you're
Wystera.
10 feet, within 10 feet?
How high is the ceiling in here?
In this particular chamber, you're dealing with something that's like, let's see here. You're dealing with about a 10-foot high ceiling.
Okay, I have room then. I'll get up on Sly's shoulders and sit on it like a small child.
Okay, you're on Sly's shoulders. Sorry, I'm balancing all of this. So Kari, you
Mhm.
are next to Sly and Eren.
Mhm.
All right, Wystera, are you with Squally and Twitch?
Wherever I am, I suspect I'll be bringing up the rear.
Okay. And
Yeah,
Squally,
I'll- I'll be sticking close to Kari, no matter where we are.
okay, you're close to Kari. And Wystera and Twitch fly off. Well, Twitch is kind of scouting up ahead. Twitch is not necessarily following where you guys are, but Twitch is looking a little bit in the same room, just like a few feet up ahead. You guys exit out of this room. You open you go through a space, and immediately Twitch goes up to the door that Cyrus was coming in and out of. It's like, well, I hear some moaning in there, and kind of goes immediately off to this like little darkened section off farther across the room. Cyrus goes immediately, is like, all right, give me a minute. Okay. So down. All right. And Cyrus goes to a door that's off to his right side, and he opens it. You guys see right across the way, there is a spiral staircase. The spiral staircase is about 30 feet across this small little corridor. And it's just like a tight little hallway. And he's like, all right, down this way. He begins to walk down the hall. I gotta ask. Oh God, sorry. You guys begin to walk down. As you all step through, you get through first little bit, it's like a little tight. You guys make it through the second bit. You're all collectively part of the same group, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Which is the only one who's off in the distance. Fine.
Yeah.
So that means that all of you, at the same instant, walk up to this one point in the center of this hallway. Just as you do, ting, ting, the walls right in front of you, all of a sudden, all of you are caught inside of this box where there are bars set up. You are all stuck right now in this small area on this like kind of like tight 10 by 10 section with this in this chamber. And the second that this thing closes its doors on you, you all fly up through the air, rushing as if you guys are currently on like a one of those like sky dropping roller coaster rides as you all begin to ascend up, flying high.
Figures.
Let us see here.
Cyrus.
He goes, oh, that's right. Oh, nuts. Now, as this is rising, I need you guys to make Constitution saving throws. Everybody who is in this room, including Cyrus.
We all have the +3.
Yeah, anyone who's within 10 feet of me gets
Including
plus
Cyrus?
3 to your save. Yeah,
Including
if he's
Cyrus?
within it. If he's within it, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or I got a nat 1.
Oh,
Oh, but I got to 25, so maybe that helps.
I got 27.
Jesus. I got 16.
19 for Wystera.
Okay. So Twitch
Well,
is
he's
the only
gotta
one that
shit
is
his
not in this
pants.
compartment right now. Squall.
Yeah.
Squall. God damn it. All right. So as this begins to fly up, all the way up, you guys feel a gas fill inside of this box. Everyone that is here that rolled 15 or higher succeeds. The person who rolled a nat 1, though, goes unconscious.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Completely falls, which is only Squally. Squally is the only one who falls unconscious. Everyone else here is okay. You guys feel as the elevator this elevator essentially begins to rise up and up and up and up. You, yeah.
I don't
All
love
of you.
when he does that giggle.
All of you feel yourselves slam up onto the roof. And you are all currently standing in this box. Feeling it jar as you move. Cyrus just kind of like as the smoke billows out, he's like, I thought that wasn't working right now, and I thought we would be all right. It usually works. But I guess there's just too many of us here.
What's that supposed to do?
Oh! That, and he points to Squally right now, just like on the ground, sleeping.
Is he okay? How do we help him?
You can just give him a nice little shake if you want to wake him up.
I grab Squally and I just...
Squally, you wake up.
Yeah, he
I
was right.
turn white.
All right, it's not that bad. Cyrus immediately looks up and he's like, right there. He takes a stick. There's a hatch right above the very top of this box. He knocks it open, and all of a sudden, like, he slides this one thing open, and then there's like a little door up above. He bumps it, and like the door up top opens up. As it opens up, Cyrus is like, all right, we can all get up this way. Someone just help me, give me a boost.
What's up there?
Very tiny.
What?
What's
Wystera.
up there?
Well, I don't know unless I'm able to go up there and see it. So why don't you give me a boost? and
You're
I'm
the
gonna tell you.
caretaker of this castle and you don't know
Wystera
where
gives
you're
me-
going?
Wystera, you give Cyrus a boost and just kind of begins to move up. All right. It's like, I'm not necessarily just like, memorizing it with my brain. Okay. I see things when I walk around it, and that's how I remember what's there. Yeah, right. And pulls up. Okay. So you feel like a webbed foot kind of kicking you in the face a little bit, Wystera, as he's just holding in the position. All right. So there's a rug, there's a picture frame, and there's a door and stairs.
Let's go. Not staying here. So
You are taking us to the body, yes?
Yeah.
Seems like he doesn't know where he's going, but what else are we gonna do? I'll just
Does
hop up
everybody
on
follow Cyrus?
Squally's shoulders and climb up.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
we're all climbing up.
Yeah. You guys all climb up. As you come into this little space, you see in this chamber, or this little hall, there are two sets of stairs. One to your right, that seems to go, like from where you're coming down. One to your right, which seems to be going down. One to your left, seems to go up. Behind you, there is a door. And off to the side, there's a rug. And in front of that rug is a portrait of a very young looking, long black haired individual in this beautifully ornate and well made suit of armor.
Can I look at the painting? Is it a young painting of Strahd?
It appears to be an individual that, similar likeness that you recognize, but doesn't look like Strahd. It's funny. Go ahead and make a nature check.
I get an 18.
Okay. Likeness, physique, physical bone structure, all of that looks similar to Strahd, if not a little bit more muscular. This is an individual that seems much more brawny. Definitely is wearing like the suit of armor as like a more of a combatant. But what you notice is that the complexion and the facial structure of him is not the Strahd that you guys saw presently. It's different. This one looks a little bit more it looks a little bit more like kind of broader features. The one that you guys have seen is much more angular, much more it has more like kind of gaunt textures in his own face, but also more softer in his appearance. Almost as if this is like a different person.
Like an undead version. Okay.
As you're kind of looking at this, I will also tell you, Squally, when you're looking at the portrait, its eyes seem to follow you.
Ooh.
Of course.
Can I get real close to it? Like real close?
You get real close to this portrait, and you can see its eyes still follow you as if they're looking right down into your eye sockets. Everybody else, what are you guys doing?
Where's Cyrus?
Cyrus is kind of right by you guys. He's like, all right, we got stairs. We got stairs, and we got the door.
Wystera's
Do you know
looking
where
around
we're
for
going?
traps.
You guys want me to take you to where Master Strahd takes the bodies? I thought I was going there, and
You thought you were going there?
yeah, I went down the right hallway, but we were too heavy. That's the thing. I think it works because we're fat. We're too fat for the floor, so we went shot right up.
Okay, so now you're lost, is what you're saying.
I'm not lost. I just, need to take more time to know where I'm going.
Okay, well, I'll help you out if I can.
All right. He will take another search action here. Does anybody else want to search anything just while you're in this little space? You guys good?
Mr. is good.
Can I poke the eyes of the painting?
All right. Squally, you're gonna poke the eyes of the painting.
Just
Give me
one.
one quick second here.
Just like the right one.
Okay, that's first. Okay. So Cyrus rolled a group initiative check, and he rolled a 3. -1, so 2. And I'm checking this because, the portrait rolled lower. You notice as, actually, no, the portrait is not the one who's taking lead on this. Instead,
It's the room. Is this a
No.
monster house?
it's the rug. The rug is going to make an attempt. As Squally, as you
Cool.
go to make a gesture towards the portrait, the eyes glow a soft blue. And as they do, Squally, you feel the rug slip out from under you, and it is going to attempt to smother you.
Good. Sorry, guys.
That's a 15 to hit.
Yeah, I believe my AC is 15.
Okay. You feel the rug wrap over your head and tighten as you cinches up and restrains you in this moment. At that same token, let's see here. Let's say, I don't know that spell very well, but let's give it a try. Let's give this one to Sly. Sly?
That's endearing.
Actually, I'll be fair. I'll roll. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And 6 was Cyrus.
No, because Squally's taking care of it. It's
Damn.
5. And I rolled for you, Kari. So
Oh, I should have shut my mouth.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I'm supposed to be good at those. 14. No, 15.
Okay. As you feel the eyes lock in on you, you feel them trying to penetrate towards your very resolve,
Mhm.
trying to get something to happen with you, but it does not happen.
Yay.
On this turn now, Squally, you are going to take some damage.
No.
Squally, you take 14 points of bludgeoning damage as you are being smothered by this rug.
So Squally's down.
Okay.
God damn it.
In this instant, Squally tried to go up. You guys saw Squally try to play with the portrait. Instant, wrapped up, and then just go flat unconscious. All of you guys are now collectively acting on the same turn. So you guys can react however you want. Cyrus, I'm going to tell you straight up, not doing anything. Unless you guys make him do something.
I am going to yell, okay, fun's over. Cyrus, take us to the rooms. And I'm going to run over and slap my hand on Squally's head, sticking out of the rug, and pop 2 points of lay on hands into Squally.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Slahd's just gonna take out his dagger and start hacking out this rug.
Sure, go ahead and make an attack.
Sweet.
Okay.
Am I still wrapped in the rug?
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack, please, Sly.
That's a 10.
10, that does not hit.
Don't stab me.
Well, I didn't
You
hit.
missed the rug narrowly and just kind of like miss the entire thing right now as it's grappled up. You can make another attack if you want.
Yeah, why the heck not?
Okay.
That's a 19 to hit.
Total, that's gonna hit.
Oh no.
That'll be 2 points of damage to the rug.
2. Okay. Kari, how many points of healing did you give Squally?
2.
What the fuck?
You can subtract that by 1 because that dagger
was-
is a little bit into the rug.
I wasn't aiming.
Stab me.
Stabs
I wasn't
right
aiming
into
there.
Squally as you stab. Dude, the rug is completely wrapped up, encased in Squally, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well now you do.
I'm a
Squally
little
has
Squally
1 hit
Rito.
point now.
A little Kenku-rito. I don't know what works with burrito.
Birdrito.
A bird rito. Thank you.
Okay, Squally, do you want to try to get out of this rug?
Yes, please.
Okay, go ahead and make I think it's a strength. Go ahead and make an athletics check. And I'm just gonna see if you have anything with this. Yeah, just
Can
go
I
ahead and make an athletics check.
Acrobatics?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Well, you know what? Acrobatics is nimbleness of body. I'll accept it because you're trying to nimbly get out of this tight noose.
And I got wings.
Sure. Let's do it.
How does a 12 do?
12 does not do it for you. You're still caught inside. You almost get out of there, and the rug just kind of tucks your wings back inside.
Good
All
night.
right.
Can I
Eren and
just
Wilson.
try to can I just try to open it enough for Squally to slide out?
Sure. Go ahead and make a athletics check.
Athletics. 16.
There you go. Oh, did you add the -4?
I did.
Nice. You open it up enough to get the actual rug off of Squally. So Squally is no longer grappled and no longer restrained.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys have mainly used actions, except Wystera has not done anything. Does anybody else want to commit to any like bonus actions or stuff like that?
I'm just
Can I
ready
try to,
do
like-
Squally a lot.
Can I use the rest of whatever action I have to close it back up and hold the rug down?
Want to wrestle the rug? Yeah, give me an athletics check and see if we can wrestle this rug. That's cocked.
That's 18.
So you're setting the DC. The rug rolled an 18. As you start holding up this rug, it starts slipping around. You think you got it, except the rug begins to actually control the circumstance. So the rug is not fully grappled within your hand.
I'm just trying to keep it from grabbing other people.
It is still able to reach out if it is able to hit on this moment. Wystera.
Damn it.
I'll take out my knife and stab the rug.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack
Don't
on that.
stab me. I have 1 HP.
Well, the rug isn't fully enveloped, so you shouldn't take damage this time, I think.
I hope not.
Go ahead and make an attack.
We'll find out.
Up together.
We're about to find out.
7?
Yeah.
Nope. You completely miss and whiff on the rug as it tucks itself in, avoiding your attack. Does
Yeah.
anybody else have anything else to do?
Can Squally look for an exit so we can leave?
You got 3 exits. There's a door closest to you guys. There's also the staircase that goes upstairs and a staircase that goes down.
Let's leave.
Huh.
I guess we gotta close the door behind the rug. Hey guys.
Yeah.
There's no door behind the rug right now. You guys are just in a hallway.
Oh, right.
And I'll ask you this, Squally. Are you going to become the leader of this group?
Oh gosh, no.
Okay, because the
Leader
leader
of
of the group right now is not doing anything right now. They don't have a path or motion or doing anything to go anywhere.
Cyrus, where the hell are we going?
No, you said a room, but then you want to find a body, and then you want to go somewhere else. You're confusing me. I don't understand it.
Find it difficult to work in these circumstances. Maybe we do just
I'm gonna
go
wrestle
to
a damn
sleep.
rug.
We gotta find the body. Okay.
Okay, but even if we find the body, are any of us in a position to do anything?
If I become the leader, I change our initiative, right? Because I have to roll then, right?
Yes, you could potentially change the initiative.
I don't know what to do after that though.
I'll tell you, you become the leader. You immediately roll immediately roll a d20. You see if something happens, and then you then can roll initiative, and then you will be able to be the one who can determine actions for your team,
Including Cyrus taking us somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
You want to do it, Kari?
Sure. I will boss the shit out of Cyrus.
Okay, Kari, go ahead and roll a d20.
Oh god, I immediately regret my decision. Okay. Uh-oh, that's an 8.
Okay, now go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, okay, that was an initiative. Okay. Oh, that was will something bad happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
Okay, and initiative is 15.
Okay, that is higher. So on this moment, you guys now get to act before these two things go.
Great. I'm gonna say, Cyrus, take us in the direction of that room with the bodies. We're going.
Okay.
And I'm going to, grab him by
Yeah.
the shoulder and make sure he takes us where we're going.
You know what? Go ahead and make a survival check with your charisma bonus.
Oh god. Okay.
Yeah,
So just 7
With
charisma.
advantage.
Okay.
it's gonna be with,
With
advantage.
advantage.
Yeah, because technically Cyrus is giving you the help action.
Oh, okay. So basically just I don't have proficiency, so just add my charisma modifier. Oh my god. Those are not great. 10. I rolled a 2 and a 7. These dice are dead to me.
You go to Cyrus, and he's like, he looks at you and says, "We're doing this." I'm gonna roll for Cyrus here.
Oh god.
Mhm.
I've lost us our peasant.
He looks at you. He says, "You know what? You've been bossing me around this whole time. I listen to you. I try to help. I go upside this trap. I slam myself up there, and I have to make sure I see all you struggling with a rug and a picture portrait.
You know what? No, you find where the bodies are.
And he just begins to walk, and he's gonna go. Where's he gonna go? Is he gonna go in the room or is he gonna go to the stairs? Odd stairs. He goes, opens the door, and closes the door.
Without going through it?
No, there's just a door in the hallway. He opens and he closes it behind him. He went through
He
it.
goes
Oh,
through
he does go through it.
Yeah,
Okay.
he went through that door.
He is so lucky I have no more spell slots.
Wystera runs over and opens that door
Okay.
immediately.
you go in, you open that door. As soon as you open that door, you see Cyrus like kind of turns around, sees you. Ah!
Yeah, I jump forward and I tackle him and I try to
Sure,
bring
make
him
it.
back into the room.
Make an athletics check for me, please.
Oof. Maybe I shouldn't have accepted this position.
3.
He rolled a nat 1. you
Ah!
you just grab onto his hunch and he's like, "Ah, stop it. And he just slips on his waddled foot, just like slipping around. It's just like not a good looking grapple by any means necessary.
Poor guy.
You tackle him inside of a room that is really well kept. You look in the space. Oh my god. You look around here, and as you 1 second. There we go. You come in here, and it's a nicely well-furnished lounge. You can see that there's like a bunch of plush stuffed couches and everything. It's like well kept. There's a bunch of things here. It looks pretty cozy and it's like well made up. You can see actually that there are some like nifty, like well made little bedrolls out. One individual off on the side is kind of like getting them nice and well furnished. You can see that this person, you look over at the side and you see a blonde haired individual standing there with like elegant looking clothing, a traveler's clothes, just looks off to the side. You see as the face of Esker looks right at you and goes, "Oh, well, hello. Interesting to see you here. What the hell are you doing right now with that one? What are the rest of you doing on your turn?"
Trying to get to the door and wanting to help Eren leave the carpet in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for everyone to get to the door, and then I'm gonna try to like chuck the rug in the other direction and run to the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check with advantage if someone else is going to help you.
I will help.
I will also help.
Cool.
So I get a roll 3 times. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just fucking with you. It's still a
Make
dirty
that
20.
4.
It's a dirty 20.
320. Yeah. You take the rug, you wheel it around. Squally, you're able to like kind of bring up with some of your like silver air magic, and Kari, you give it a nice little kick in the back area, and the rug like kind of flutters and flops down the stairs, about to turn tail and come up towards all of you. But you still have your movement and you still have the ability to do stuff.
Let's get in the door and shut the door.
And now
We're
let's
hauling
get in the
ass.
door. This rug can have like ridiculous speed.
I
You
mean,
guys
have
all
you seen
rug.
Aladdin, those magic carpets, man.
It just inchworms across.
Is
the
it
whole floor
walking
of the
like on
castle.
the?
You see,
It's
as
like
this rug,
the tassels
this
like
rug,
Aladdin.
it's tossed down the stairs. It flops completely. You're like, haha. You see, all of a sudden, the rug stands up like a body, like a full torso. It kind of like shifts its shoulders a little bit, turns right around, and flutters off its side frills as if it's about to start hiking its way up.
It's terrifying.
Towards you.
I hate that.
Does it have like a sassy little walk?
You see as the picture individual in the portrait is now moving. It seems as if this individual is moving in 2 dimension and is beginning to move its fingers in a moment, directing its gaze towards you guys. What are you doing?
Hauling ass.
All of you begin to rush going into the door that was just opened for you, slamming it closed as all of a sudden you hear a big loud slam coming right from the outside of the actual room. You all come into this little space and you just see Esker comes through as like, well, that is certainly not the way I thought you were all going to be coming in here, but you are all quite interesting and impressive individuals, I have to say.
Shut up. No one wants to listen to you. We got to figure out what we're doing next.
I missed you too. Oh. You guys see before you Esker, as he is currently in a traveler's gear, well adorned. You can see there are windows that kind of face outwards, and there's another door that's kind of off to his right side. He's like, well, okay, if you want to be really nasty about it, then sure, I won't show you around in your little accommodations that I've been getting ready this whole time, but all right.
Oh, you're Strahd's little servant?
Very funny, very funny. Yes, so I'm here to make sure that you guys are all situated and taken care of. Show
You're
my
going through all that
appreciation
just
after
to
that.
Find the rooms we're going to be staying in.
He's the maid, guys.
I thought it would be nice for me to give you all a very welcome place to stay, especially after that little favor you did for us in Valaki. You know, how you killed that person and, you know, all that. By the way, brought him over here just last night and was very, very well received. So thank you all. Thank you.
You're welcome, maid.
So does Esker have like a feather duster and like a skin-
lace.
The little
Like-
little dress
dress
and
on.
like
Full,
Is that what-
Fishnets.
full thing.
I gotta ask you guys now, make you guys feel bad. If you had fishnets, would it be a problem? Would it be something to
No,
laugh at him?
I'm just wondering. what's
no, I'm
happening.
genuinely wondering if he has
I
the
feel
full
like-
French maid get.
I'm
They
wondering
compliment
what
his hair
I'm
color.
hoping he does.
He doesn't have like full
wondering what
fishnets, but he
Strahd's
does seem
maid
to have.
wears.
You guys know those like grandpa socks that are
6-inch
just like
stilettos.
those grandpa socks that look like pantyhose but aren't pantyhose. It has that kind of texture to it. He's got those
Long
kinds
Johns?
of
Is there a
not long
garter?
johns, but it's like socks.
Argyle
They have the
socks?
texture of pantyhose.
You're suggesting like socks that needed garters, like
But it
the
yeah,
ones that were
does it
like,
have
they
the
didn't have
garter?
elastic yet? Like
The garter's important.
If looking at them, they're probably none of you guys are tailors. You don't have proficiency in tailor clothes. You don't know.
I don't know. Sly's pretty good with wedding
Sly
dresses.
drew a dress.
No,
okay.
no.
Sly-
Sly knows
Sly is the
fashion.
only one qualified here to make a check based on it with his amazing dress abilities. Sly, go ahead and make a intelligence check, a history check, I guess.
Liam,
with
I was the
advantage.
one. I was the one that designed the dress. The actual.
Yeah, but
dress.
You
Sly
were
is the one who
basic,
made it a
you
practical
were-
application. This man
You were
understands.
conformist. You were basic. I showed
Yeah, Sly
ingenuity
came up with
and
something
creativity.
That's not what
innovative.
the chick
Fashion.
said. That
It was
is not
both
what
fashionable and
the lady
functional.
or the something said.
Aaron
Sorry,
shed a
what check
tear
am I
when he
making?
saw that.
What check am I making?
You're gonna make an intelligence check. I think it's gonna be like a history check. Yeah.
It doesn't
Literally
matter.
just trying to figure out what Esker's wearing.
That's a nat 20.
Yes!
For those
But
of you
with
not
modifier
familiar with
to- yeah.
D&D, when a nat 20 is rolled, that is a critical success, which means shit happens and it's a
Who
good
knows
good.
about fashion now, Squally?
Okay, I'll give it to you just this one time.
Squally, here's the thing. The reason I didn't have you roll actually has a major reason. You do know about form structure when it comes to actually designing clothing. You have a pretty good sense of it because you've had to make it for yourself off in the wilderness. But Sly has this thing there that you don't have, and that is understanding
Wow
functionality.
factor.
Wow. Sly, you know for a fact that these kinds of socks are the kinds of socks you picked off of traveling bands. These socks are the kinds of socks that like elegant people wear and like put little like clips on so that they will stay up. Esker's wearing
So is he
socks.
wearing socks and nothing else?
Garter.
I didn't think you were just gonna focus on the socks. I thought I was gonna get a whole rundown. I didn't
Yeah,
know
I wanna
was
know the
gonna-
whole fit.
No.
I didn't know. Yeah,
Your nat 20,
I
your
was
nat
expecting
20
just
is
about socks.
your
and the
nat
history
20
of
is
socks.
solely focused on these socks. You think that
But
the
is he
thread of
wearing
these
like
things-
is he wearing like a little mini skirt and when it flares up there's like a dagger in the sock, you know?
No, he's wearing like tailored pants that are like, pretty good, but hide the actual garters of the socks. Like it's actually like, it's an outfit that says I've traveled, but I'm also functionally dangerous.
I'm functioning.
Well, I'll give you this.
Sorry,
You're
but
very
his
well
socks
dressed
was
for a
that?
maid.
What was that,
But his
David? I
socks
didn't
are gonna
hear
be
you.
falling down.
I said a 103 room Gothic castle, and we're gonna spend an hour on this dude's socks. This is so like
Well,
us.
we're talking to
What
the
else
maid.
do we
I
want?
want to know what his outfit is like.
This is what D&D is.
This is what D&D is.
True.
You get a Gothic
I'm
horror.
painting a mental picture right now, David.
It's important.
It's getting me into it.
Theater
There's a
of the
long-
mind.
Here we go. His
David, do you
long
expect anything
blonde
less
hair
from this group?
is tied down, and you can is brought down here. You can see that it's kind of like tied up in a like a gentle ribbon. You can see that he's got this traveler's cloak over thing, like a little bit tan with a like easy thread that he could pull off if he needed to, so somebody couldn't grab onto him. His clothes are nice and elegant, but they're also pretty well. They allow him to disguise himself pretty well in just the common folk. He's different looking from where you guys saw him before in Valaki, which is much more elaborate clothes.
And now more French matey. I get it.
He looks at all of you and is just like, "Okay, what are you doing
with
with
this
this one?"
outfit? With this outfit, is he trying to seduce Strahd?
Oh, they get up to some spicy stuff.
Make an insight check.
Oops,
Make-
my Dark
Yeah.
Lord. I have to dust in front of you now.
Yeah, he's like dusting, but it's like, oh.
Sorry, you said insight
The
check?
garter of my
Oh.
sock has unbuttoned.
You said insight
Make an
check?
insight check with advantage on the intentionality of
his maid's outfit.
clothes.
That's another nat 20.
God damn it.
Paint me a picture, DM.
Was it on
This
the
is why
first
David
or
started
second die?
this
It was
game,
on
by
the
the way.
second. It was on
Oh
the
my
second.
god.
The first was a 3.
It's like I want this to happen. So
The fates have willed it.
this is unfortunately with a nat 20, you have critical success of what it is, and unfortunately, it's a serious answer. It is not a maid's garb he is wearing. It's not designed for that. This is actually garb that is designed for someone who is of a notorious status to be able to slip in and out of a normal crowded place. This is the garb for someone who is going to be mixed in with a populace. And then if something bad is to happen, they get snagged and caught, then they have an easy access to actually get away. It's also got the gartered
Or-
socks because he likes gartered socks.
Or it slips on and off easily because he's trying to seduce his boss.
It's like tearaway.
You're the
pants.
only one, Sly, that can
Exactly.
put this.
Nothing
You're the only
sexier
one.
than tearaway pants.
You're the only one that can pull this kind of assumption from this. In fact, I'm going to change this up.
The seduction?
You fully think that what's going on here, Esker's changed his position completely. He's no longer the vampire threat you guys once saw him. You think that this person in Valaki is now working as a red light district worker, someone who wanders the streets of Valaki doing pleasure favors for Fiona Votchter, the old woman, and all of her cronies. Yes, you think this is a service vampire, one who goes into the industry and is doing quite well for themselves. You're actually kind of impressed with their garb and their tearaway.
You know, for a maid, he's dressed really well.
I think. Okay, Squally.
Now, Esker, why do you feel Strahd doesn't notice you?
Esker.
Why are you like a therapist right now?
I'm getting into. Okay.
Esker fully takes off the traveler job, rips it off, just kind of folds it.
Oh,
Whoa,
Whoa.
proving our point.
it's not that kind of
Proving
party
your
here,
point.
pal. We're
Esker-
not.
Describe
it
to me,
over.
only using good words, the things that come to mind about your mother.
Okay, I want to ask a serious question though.
He takes the garb, places it on the couch, and he's like, Well, I think it all started back some time when I was, first coming into this land. And one of the things I realized is that I needed to feel like more close and connected to those that, had abandoned me. I felt really bad. My mother was obviously someone I respected, but it was a really difficult time for me. My father, too. You see, my father was more into the whole stripping down element. It was really quite difficult. He starts to slowly make his approach towards you, Sly.
Now,
with a
see,
little
as
kind
you
face.
feel your father stripped down emotionally, you in trying to resemble some kind of connection with him, you feel you have to strip
He's
down.
stepping closer to you. I don't like
Mhm.
this.
Yes,
Physically.
no, I agree 100%. I feel that it was the
I
biggest
draw my
mistake.
dagger.
Fuck you up.
I draw my dagger.
He slides within you within close proximity, almost in a
Within
sudden
you.
reaction. He hits you with a non-nat 20 and a natural 19 immediately in
Okay.
reaction.
This does hit.
Sly's 1 HP.
I regret nothing.
First hit
TPK.
deals 10 points of damage.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Sly is unconscious, but he has a grin on his face.
Second hit slaps on you. You take 2 failed death saving throws as he
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
sliding you right to the top of the town.
I
He
might
says,
have a slight regret.
yeah. Anybody else want to be a little
We're
bit
going to
cute
need
right
to speak to your manager about this.
now? Let me just see. Does he have a third attack? No, he doesn't. He used
said-
them both on Sly.
You said 2 fails?
Yeah, 2 failed
Okay.
death save.
Cool.
Somebody help Sly, please.
I'm gonna run in and go, whoa. Like, you're a smart person. You know he was just fucking with you.
Yeah, I know it's going to take about 6 seconds for him to basically pass out and basically be another dead corpse in here and be put inside of one of Cyrus's pots. Now, how about you take care of your friend right now, and then I can actually have a conversation.
I think the maid is insecure.
Why is everyone in this entire building have like a superiority complex? As I'm putting my hand on Sly and popping a point into him, I don't need him to fucking count at me like an asshole. Fuck that. I'm actually getting like physically mad right now.
Asker's a piece
I'm
of shit.
talking to him while I'm putting my hand on Sly and going, like, you're smarter than that. You know he was fucking with you. That's
Cyrus-
an overreaction.
Cyrus,
And then Sly
sure
is
you
what's
take
1
care-
point.
Cyrus, make sure that you go outside of the room and make sure you take care of that rug, all right? Like, all right, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Miss Asker. All right, you. And he just takes his stick and he punches the rug that's trying to get in the room and just like goes in and closes it. All right. Yeah, I knew it was fucking with him, and I knew you also had the ability to take care of that. So yeah, I guess I was fucking with him
You
in my
don't
own
know
little.
shit about me.
Oh, I don't know shit about you? I don't? Okay. Good. Cool. That's fine.
Squally's gonna kind of step in between everyone here and just say, thank you for getting our rooms ready. Question for you quickly. You weren't by chance the one who invited us here, right? This was Strahd's invitation.
Oh, very much so.
He's
It was very much
Strahd's
Strahd's
slave.
invitation.
And you wouldn't,
Oh yes, Master Strahd. I'll do whatever you say. Oh yes.
Eren.
I have 2 points left. If you people keep dying, I can save 2 of you.
I don't. Asker, why are you here?
Esker, why did we get invited here as well? Can answer
Well,
both.
it was simple. You were invited here so that, Strahd simply wanted to have a conversation to actually formally meet with all of you. And that was really all the end of it. Wanted to have you all stay here, and then that was going to be it. And then you could all just
Cool.
leave the next day.
Bullshit.
And why are you here?
Well, I'm here because Strahd doesn't know that I actually have something that I need to talk to all of you about.
Before you get into that, when he said that that's all Strahd wanted, do I believe him?
I can say you can make an insight check, but I can also ask you, Kari, if you feel that you can really trust any of these guys.
I mean, no, I
understand-
probably don't, but I'm
Also
trying to
understand-
gauge how much truth they're slipping into their bullshit, if you know what I mean.
Well, here's the thing. nothing that they've really said to you has ever been a lie. It's just been cryptic. Everything
Yeah.
they've talked about has come to a truth, but it's never been a true lie. So really, you can certainly make an insight check if you want to, but they're also really crafty.
I guess
So-
what I'm trying to say is if I can try and discern what the piece of what they're trying to hide in their crypticism, if I can try to decipher it.
Oh, I'd say that's an insight check, but you have to use your intelligence modifier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so intelligence plus proficiency, so +4. Okay. That's a natural 20 plus 4.
Okay. What exactly are you trying to like side through for the bullshit? Like, what exactly is the bullshit you're trying to get through?
Well, he said like, I guess, I don't know. I'm inclined to be like, well, all of it, but like, the key things that he said that I'm trying to like find the truth and the lie in and separate them from each other are, that Strahd's the one who invited us, not him.
Mhm.
That Strahd just wanted to introduce himself and like had no ulterior motive for that, and that he wanted, like, I guess why he wanted us to stay, or like what the reason for that was. Is there something sketchy that's going to happen to us or something like that? Like those are kind of the three main elements, if I can decipher anything about one or all three of those three things.
Here's the thing. A lot of the stuff that you're thinking about, aside from the first point, are all focused on Strahd. And
Yeah.
this is not Strahd. So in terms of reading the information given and on this, you can only really interpret Esker's potential things of it.
Yeah, like what he knows about it, I guess, is what I'm trying to gather.
And here's the thing. You can glean this from Esker. You felt a strong undead presence with Strahd. When you felt a presence with Esker way back when, you thought that was a strong undead presence. That was nothing compared to what Strahd had. Which is one of the interesting things about this. You're talking to an undead who used to have that really powerful undead presence that you felt, but there were 5 of them with you at that point. Esker is now kind of on his own and has been focusing on you guys a lot. Similar to why Strahd had expressed that you guys are all interesting. You start to kind of pull this together in a way. Why is you get through the bullshit of the whole maid stuff? Why is Esker the one making this room up? He's not a maid. He's not a chamberlain. He's not someone who's supposed to be taking care of this. He was off in Valakey. He was put in a coffin before. Why is he here? And you catch it on that last line. I want to talk with you guys. Suddenly you kind of look at Esker and you see his plainness. You see his simplicity. There's nuance to Strahd. There's a lot, like Esker can play around with and say a bunch of hurtful, spiteful things. Strahd doesn't need to do that. Strahd was able to shut you up and shut you down with a very clear, direct answer to your question. Esker doesn't deal with directness. And so when he's talking to you, you realize he wants something from you. He's making this area, this bed space, nice. And he's trying to actually engage with you guys. He probably didn't even make up this room. You think about it a little bit, and you think about what you and Squally have kind of been paying attention a little bit to the textures of the room a little bit, and kind of think that he didn't make this room up. It was just making an excuse to be here to talk to you all. And you do think, when you're talking about like understanding Strahd's bullshit, you think that it has something to do with that Strahd stuff. He engages it a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
He engages a little bit and he says, the reason I actually came here is because I did want to talk to you all about our host, your host, our host. I want to talk to you all because I don't know if you've noticed, but things are starting to move forward, so to speak. Have you noticed that?
Can you just say what you're gonna say?
All right. Okay. I'll say what I'm going to say. I'll say it. Fine. I feel as if I'm owed something, and I think that it's time that I got it. Does that make sense?
We owe you something?
No, no. Okay.
Yeah, you better not.
I am owed something for my services. And this is when you get it, Kari. You could almost cut him off from this. It's like he's owed something from Strahd. He's owed something from Strahd. Baby vampire is owed something from daddy vampire. You connect this. Go ahead and make an arcana check for me.
Oh, gad. It's only a +1. Okay. 11.
It's not hard to pull this together. Now, you don't know much about vampires. You don't have much understanding about arcanic magic. However, if Strahd is a fixation, and Strahd is a powerful being, you gather the fact that Strahd might be the answer to allowing Esker to actually have more power. And Esker wants power. He expresses, in my time here, I've done a lot of good things, done a lot of great things. And I feel as if it's time for me to reap the rewards of that service. Unfortunately, there are some people who don't feel as if I do deserve it. And there are certain people who feel that I need to do more. I need to keep pushing and pushing, and I'm a little tired of it. So I wanted to have a conversation with all of you, because you're all people who I think feel they're owed something and are trying desperately, a little obviously, trying to make it through this world.
What do you want?
I want to know or have access to the power that Strahd has. How do I say this? There's a rumor that goes around, I don't know if all of you kind of think about it, that Strahd was one of the first vampires. Now, I don't know if that's true. Oh, by the way, spoilers. He's not a devil. He's a vampire. Whatever. There's a rumor that they believe he was the first. Now, I don't know if you subscribe much to rumors. I can't get out of this place, so I can't tell. But somehow, some way, he got his powers from this land. And I want to know how. And I would very much like to be able to have that. So if you're all able to find out for me where his powers come from and how I can be able to acquire it, then I might be able to do something for you. I might be able to be indebted to you in some way, maybe.
Wystera sits down and tries to telepathically connect to Twitch. She's so bored with this moron.
Does the telepathic bond have a certain limit of range or anything like that? I have the book for it, I think. I just need to find it.
I can't find that.
It is... What is the thing called with your telepathic bond?
exactly what I'm looking for, and it's not here. Shape changer, devil sight, magic resistance, sighting invisibility. Imp. Skills, damage resistance, damn it.
It's an invocation, yes?
Yep.
Give me a second, guys. You can talk amongst yourselves and your characters if you'd like while I look for this.
Sorry.
God, Eren hates Esker. I'm just gonna.
Are you talking about like the find familiar spell?
No, there's an actual invocation that Wystera has that can allow her to telepathically speak to Twitch.
Oh,
Voice of the Chainmaster. There you go.
There it is.
Okay, there's no range.
Sorry,
I don't see a
Abby,
range
did you heal
for-
me?
yeah, you have a hit point.
Sweet, thank you.
I don't see
You
any
didn't.
range.
There is no range. You connect with Twitch, and Twitch is like, "Where the hell are you guys?" I was like, "Where the hells are you?" I was literally going about to turn down a corner, and I saw you guys shoot straight up in the air.
Yes, we are in a room with Esker. What have you found? Anything interesting?
A giant fucking box that just went 100 and some feet up in the air.
Yes. Nothing more interesting than that. You know, baubles, swords, magic items.
No, nothing of that nature right now. I've just been looking around. I mean, this thing goes up pretty high. I could look up there a little bit, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, go up high. Go up high. See what's up there. See what's up there.
All right, fine. The rest of you, as you're in this room with Esker, he's like, so, there, clear as day. Is there anything that you guys else want to know?
If you had the same power Strahd has, are you planning to overthrow him and run everything the way he is running it right now? Or are we looking at a political reform of sorts?
Look, all I'm hoping to do is get this kind of power so I can have the option to do whatever it is I want to do. That's why I need it. I don't need to make any plans ahead of time and make dreams for myself. That's what mortals do. I don't need to do that anymore.
I won't even consider this idea until you apologize for everything that happened with Tereska.
Everything that happened with Tereska. Everything?
Everything.
What do I have to apologize for?
You tell me.
Okay, I didn't do anything to her.
Was it Strahd?
You tell me.
How would we be able to tell you
It's
that?
the way I see it. I remember showing up to her house, her not being there, and your stupid face looking at me.
Right. But I wasn't with her, was I?
No, but you seem to know where she was.
I didn't know exactly where she was. She was off in the woods. I had a feeling that we'd be able to go out there and find out where we could go. So I went with you, led you on that journey. I didn't know that my friends were going to be out there, or my one friend, but you took care of him.
Somebody
and
please
then-
insight check this piece of shit.
Sure, go ahead and make an
He's
insight.
so slimy. He's so
My
slimy.
insight is so bad right now because I have that stupid -4, but I'm gonna try it. Natural 20.
Yeah.
There you go. The thing is, Eren. Just so I know, because I know a natural 20, what is the total for it? Because I know that with skill checks.
So with the -4 and then it would be plus, so 17.
17. The thing with it, Eren, you are able to look at this guy. You identify in your tired state, you're exhausted. It's really hard for you, even this moment, to really glean much. Here's the thing. He's not trying to deceive you. He's trying to persuade you. He's trying to tell you the truth. In his really frustrating way to take in, Esker is trying to tell you honestly he had nothing to do with this. Mainly because he doesn't want to talk about it. Mainly, probably, because he wishes he could have been the one to do it. Because he knows and he sees that it affects you so deeply. He wishes he had that power over you. He wants to have that power over you, but he doesn't have it. He's happy to be the source of ridicule and frustration that you have right now. He's happy that that's the case. But he's also frustrated with himself because it's not his to really have.
Interesting. Okay, put all that aside. Why us? You know that we hate you, right?
Come with me. He opens up the door to a side room. You guys can begin to hear outside rain pouring down. Storm kind of begin to brew. He opens up the window in this very beautiful bedroom. It's got a wonderful 4-poster on it. It's well adorned here with silken sheets. It's gorgeous. He goes to the window, opens it. And as he opens it, he gestures outside. He's like, look out there. As you look, and anyone who wants to be in this room can be, you see marching towards the castle and actually kind of making their way through the building. You guys see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of spirits marching their way up the drawbridge that is currently up, mind you. Drawbridge is up. You see the spirits phase through the drawbridge, across the misty kind of like chasm that moats around the castle. You guys see these spirits go through in the rain, coming through in the space, all of them climbing. Esker goes out, climbs out the window, and kind of like perches himself up onto the side wall outside where the kind of main tower is. And he tells you, Eren, take my hand. He reaches out to you.
I pause for a second and just stare at him. Roll my eyes and just grab his hand.
I love
Takes
you.
your hand, begins to climb up the side of the building.
Flying Jack.
You begin to ascend higher and higher, Jesus, up this tower. And you begin to notice that you get near the height of it, you kind of circle around, not to the point to the top of this like section, but enough that you can see the tall north tower and a tall spire up above. There's kind of like a little hole kind of outstretches here. In this tower, there's like a little space underneath, like a like kind of like a overhead hanging, and then like an open lip kind of space. and you notice that spirits, like dozens at a time, begin to fall from this tower, just tossing themselves off of it, falling directly down as far as they can go. Esker, while holding you, Eren, says, "There's a lot of people as stupid and as passionate and as driven and as good as you that come through this place. Every one of them ends up like that. Every single one of them put themselves over all of this. So really, why you? Think of it this way. If you were so focused on yourself, you're so worried about your purpose, your situation, what's going to benefit you? And this is only for you to hear, Eren. If that's all you care about, let me ask you something. What's going to be the difference then between you and them? Really? I'm giving you something that's going to help save your life. Am I lying now? Rain's pouring down on his face, not on yours. You feel it drip and drench the scar on your chest. And you hear a voice in your ears, Eren. And the voice kind of comes up. He's like, "We know who the liars are. We know it deep down."
Do I recognize that voice at all?
Not at all.
I just look at him and I say, "So you're saying this is pretty much win-win for both of us, and anything else is going to be lose-lose."
Catch on pretty quick, little man. And he begins to make his way back, going to the window. Brings you back in. Sets you up. Esker, drenched in the water, looks at all of you. Says, "Well, I'm all wet now, so I guess I better get going." Really? Nothing with that one? Okay, just fuck it. All right, fine. I'm just gonna leave you guys here. You guys just sleep if you need to, whatever. Yeah.
Once he leaves, I just look over at Wystera and I say, "You said it earlier. Enemy's closer."
Yeah, why not? Of course, now we've lost all the people who know the only safe room supposedly in this castle, which is our bedrooms.
So we either go and risk dying because we're all so drained, or we sleep and risk not being able to go.
What else is in this room, DM?
Presently in this room, you guys see a bed. There is a door off to the side, what looks to be like a kind of closet space. Flying through the doorway as Esker goes out to leave, their tail wrapped up in a rug. You see Twitch, and then Esker just kind of like unties it and just pushes open. Twitch comes through and then flies in from the lounge into the bedroom space.
We still need to find Elivir's body. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep unless I know it's truly dead.
I would not recommend looking for anything in this castle without a guide.
Do you think we could ask Esker?
Yeah, I think we have to.
All right.
Can I like peek my head out and go, Esker?
Esker is like kind of just straightening up the rug right now, just trying to keep it like, oh, geez, Louise, calm down. He turns over to you. What?
We agree on one condition. We need Elivir's body destroyed.
Well, I don't know who that is.
The were-raven, he would have been brought in today.
I didn't bring him in.
Where does Strahd
Doesn't matter.
keep the fresh bodies that he
Make a
killed?
persuasion check with advantage. Not you, Wystera.
Oh,
Eren.
Oh, damn it, Come on, baby, that's
head
terrible. And that's even worse. 2.
2. Esker
Rolled a
looks
4 to 3.
Esker looks at you and says,
Vagina.
when I got my own powers here, bud, my favor that I can give you is going to be much better than just showing you around this place. And I
Well-
certainly don't need to just tell you that you need to go down to find the bodies.
From everything we've heard, if Strahd's able to bring that body back to life, it's pretty much game over for everybody else.
Oh. If that's the case, then maybe you guys aren't the people I need to help me if you can't figure this out yourself. And he walks down the stairs.
oh, there's a shocker.
God, he's such a piece of shit.
I think then we just need to go
Down.
Down.
and just be as vigilant as possible. Go checking for stuff. Eren, I'm gonna be honest, you seem really tired, and I don't think you should be the one checking for stuff.
I died.
You did.
I'm
Died.
not doing great, and dealing with that guy takes it out of you.
Yeah.
Wow, he really brings out the worst in me.
Oh my god, I want to cut his balls off.
I would very much enjoy that. Well, I don't want to leave you guys to go do this on your own.
No, I think you come. I think we have to be careful because so many of us are so drained.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go.
Even if we're
tonight.
careful, a fucking rug will take us out.
Yeah.
So I don't see how, even if we're careful, not resting is just gonna hinder us even
I
more.
would agree. I think we have, yeah.
How long do you think Strahd is going to be gone for?
He has to find someone he can't find.
Well,
So
Do
hopefully
we-
like a day?
do we short rest here? Just try to gather some strength back up and then go for it.
Sure.
I think that was an excellent idea.
I concur.
Because I think me and Sly and Squally are all like on the verge of death here, and we've all already died once. So
Very well.
Yeah, and sorry, DM, I will need to get going soon.
Yeah.
No
I also-
problem. We're about to get going here as you all
Great.
begin to get ready to rest up. You all sit yourselves up, and Twitch looks at you quickly, Wystera, as you all kind of sit up and says, while everybody else is kind of taking a rest, can I interest you in checking this out? And rolls out a new scroll, a new contract for you to sign for some new powers. And that's where we're going to end the session tonight, everybody.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
fucking Grixonoth.
Guys.
yeah, guy
oh,
seems like a piece of shit.
Yeah. A lot of people are a piece of shit. Thank you guys so very much for being here
Let's
with
go
all of
first.
us, for lasting as long as you did. Thanks to the audience members that were with us today. This was awesome. Glad we could share this all with you. Yeah, and anybody, if we end up ever sharing this out at all, which I will talk to you guys about, thanks to those people. And my goodness, this was wild as hell. Can't believe we had nat 20s on fashion checks.
All I
Oh.
get nat 20s on.
Yeah. Everything.
Efficiency in fashion checks.
If we don't get out of this dungeon soon, I don't know that because the wedding dress is
Oh,
today.
shit, you're right.
Shit, it's due today.
It's
It's
today.
due today. We gotta get out of here.
No.
If Sly does not take a tool proficiency in fashion and
Fashion.
clothing, I'm gonna textiles. I'm gonna be
Sewing.
genuinely- Yeah.
I can just imagine him sewing with his paws.
Yeah.
I just feel like how under my
Just knitting with his
proficiencies, I
little
just have
paws, like-
rowboating, crocheting.
Yeah, rowboating is your one.
Always like
Do you want us waiting to roll short rest dice?
No, we'll take care of that later because we'll decide if you guys do a short rest or want to do a long rest. We'll
You said
determine
doo
that.
doo.
I'm
You know what he
genuinely
said the other last week in our session? He said the milky substance goes into the dark hole, and he didn't even flinch. He just kept
You
going.
deadpanned that? How?
I don't
No.
think he even realized he did it.
Wow.
That's the other campaign
A
I'm
true
running.
professional.
Yeah.
Wow.
Total
Can I
That's
just
professional.
say-
my brother.
Great having a
Oh, amazing job. I will genuinely, my biggest debate for this is going to be if I give Sly a tool proficiency in fashion design.
In
I think we'll-
fashion.
Yeah.
Then Sly can just make the dress for us.
The day of?
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah,
dress,
it's
what
due
if it's
today.
a dress for Strahd and not the abbot, and we're like literally
Oh
making
my
a
god,
dress.
slay.
Strahd walks down the aisle in a Sly original.
Oh no, I meant
Yeah, it's functional and
And
fashion.
meant for
fashionable.
the bride, but that works too.
I think that's the first time a player may have invented the ending of a campaign, like a possible like conclusion, like of the journey. Like
This is gonna be the first ending of Strahd
That's-
ever where he walks down the aisle in a Sly original.
like
In a
Rocky
beautiful
Horror
wedding
Picture
dress.
Show music.
all you guys leave
The
Barovia like
epilogue.
in well-tailored garments and no vampire bites, and you're good.
Oh,
In a
epilogue of
carriage
this-
that says "Just Married" on the back, and it's got like shit flowing behind it.
The epilogue of this
garlic
campaign is
turned
going to be The
behind
Devil
you.
Wears Prada.
Strahd and
Wearing
Esper.
I Heart Strahd t-shirts.
you know, and he actually turns out he's not evil. He was just lonely.
Are we gonna
Love
queer eye
changed
him?
Oh my god, we're gonna queer eye Strahd.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Okay.
All right.
On that
hey,
note.
Gotta get
So
going.
where do you go from here?
I mean,
Thanks,
I'm gonna
everybody.
do the recording and see how that goes. Woo! Love you all.
That was all recorded too.
Oh man.